Radio check, loud and clear. Thank you everyone for tuning in, and we are underway for the Bahrain Grand Prix livestream. Here we are 30 minutes away from lights out, and we have got every single car, nearly every single car has made their way towards the grid. We have just got Antonelli, Leclerc and Russell left to make their way to the starting grid. Apart from that, all of the drivers are already there. Okie dokes. Welcome along, ladies and gentlemen, for the Bahrain Grand Prix. This is going to be an absolutely mega race. I cannot wait. We're going to have a two-stop strategy here, a lot to get through before the race starts. Of course, Russell and Antonelli have been hit with grid penalties. Some of you guys may remember yesterday, Russell qualified in second place, Antonelli qualified in fourth, but both drivers have been hit with one-place grid penalties because of the main fact that the reason that happened was because in Q2 they left the pit lane a little bit too early, according to the race director, and I'll just go into explaining that a little bit in depth later on. Hello MCG, hello John, hello everyone in the chat. I'm not going to be able to read out everyone's name, but thank you everyone for tuning in. Be sure to hit the like button, it really helps out the algorithm, especially at the start of the stream. I'm going to change our subscriber goal to our subscriber goal 143k, I think that is possible. Our like target, let's put that to 8,000, and that's going to be the target for today's stream. Okie dokes. So, ladies and gentlemen, the thing that we're going to have to be looking out for today is a two-stop race. The other thing that we're going to be looking out for is which tyres the drivers decide to start the race on, because there is normally, it's very clear. You start the race on the medium tyres, you go onto the hards, and then you do another lap on the another stint on the hards, and that's it. That's the end of your race. However, today here in Bahrain, there is the opportunity to start the race on the soft tyres and not actually compromise your race so much. So maybe, Max Verstappen had a bad qualifying. Lando Norris also had a bad qualifying. Maybe they want to risk it a little bit, start the race on a set of softs, and then move on to the mediums and the hards later on at the end of the race, just to get that a little bit of a better start compared to the drivers ahead of him. Maybe get an overtake done and on the opening laps of the race. Yeah. So let's wait and see. Gasly's going to be starting in fourth position. Obviously, he got promoted after Antonelli got moved down one place. And it's, fantastic, really, for Pierre Gasly. And we shall see if he can, if he can go on, maybe even score a podium. If he can have a good run down into turn number one, then who knows? He could be out of the first two drivers into sector 2. All right. Hi F1 Gamer, it's 10:30 p.m. here in Shanghai/Singapore. Thank you. Well, that's it's not too bad of a time to be watching a Formula 1 race. Here in the UK it is 3:30 p.m. and I'm happy. This is the first race of the season where I'm actually waking up at a reasonable time. Don't think Lando said he was surprised by how the car wasn't drivable. Well, okay, I mean, sure, let's take that with a pinch of salt. Piastri still did manage to drive it, so yeah, and I see Norris and Piastri sort of equal drivers. I wouldn't say one's significantly better than the other. Like, say, for example, if Tsunoda says the car's undrivable and Verstappen says it was drivable, then, we can kind of believe that Verstappen's slightly better than Tsunoda. But the same, could you say that for Norris and Piastri? I don't know. Anyway, isn't starting on the soft tyres default strategy here? No, there's a bit of question in the air, because the thing is, if you had a fresh set of soft tyres, it would be the safe bet. Start the race on a fresh set of softs. However, the drivers in the top 6, top 7, they don't have a fresh set of soft tyres, so they're thinking, do we start on a used set of softs, or do we go onto a used, or do we start on a fresh set of mediums? That's the question for them. Okay. Alright, we got 2,500 people tuning into the live stream. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I hope you guys, enjoy the coverage. We have got a very action-packed race starting shortly. Okay. 57 laps of racing around here, and I will run through the strategy that is predicted by Pirelli. Normally Pirelli do get these things right. On occasion they do get them wrong, but Pirelli today are predicting starting the race on a set of medium tyres, then you go on to the hards, and then you go on to the mediums. That is one strategy if the tyre wear is high. If the tyre wear is low, you can get away with starting the race on the soft tyres, then going on to the mediums, and then going on to another set of mediums. So just soft, medium, medium, or you could do soft, hard, medium, soft, hard, medium, depending on the tyre wear levels. You also do have to take into account who has, fresh sets of softs, who doesn't have fresh sets of softs. So if we look at here, Max Verstappen, actually all of the drivers in the top 10, so everyone down to Yuki Tsunoda, none of them have a fresh set of soft tyres. Doohan does, Hadjar does, Alonso do. But nobody in the top 10 has a fresh set of softs, obviously, because they use those tyres to get through into Q3 and then use them in their final qualifying session. Max Verstappen is the only driver in the entire grid, actually, that has got two sets of hard tyres. A lot of the other drivers, well, actually no other driver has two sets of hard tyres, so that's a bit of a wild card there from Max Verstappen. We'll see if it works out for him. The hard tyres haven't provided as much grip as people would have liked, really, this weekend, so we shall see what happens. Okay. What else have we got going on? Yeah, there were all the drivers just lined up on the circuit. We're 20 minutes away from lights out. Okay, we've got a couple of team radios there on the right-hand side, but actually they're from yesterday. The team radios for today haven't started coming through yet. They'll come through in around about 10 minutes time, 10-15 minutes time. Okay. So do let me know if you have any questions about what's going to happen today. Got an ad. Oh, let me block the adverts there. Apologies for that. Okay, so you guys should not get any more adverts. I shall take you through a lap of the circuit while we're here, while we're waiting for the drivers to, while we're waiting to get underway. So let me take you through a lap of the circuit. Right, there we go. So here we are, going through turn number 1, up the hill towards turn number 2 and 3. Now you've got DRS zone up here. This is a fantastic opportunity to re-overtake someone if you get overtaken down into turn number 1. You've got the braking zone, very, very big braking zone, and you've got to stay within track limits. If you exceed track limits when overtaking someone, you will have to give the position back or get given a 5-second time penalty. So, yeah. Got to be very, very careful. Down towards turn number 8, we saw Fernando Alonso, in fact, set up an overtake here at turn number 8 and then sealed the deal at turn number 9 and 10 against Lewis Hamilton in 2023. He went down the inside of turn number 10, did Fernando Alonso. So there is some chances to overtake here on the opening lap. And if you're as wise as Fernando Alonso is, then you can probably get an overtake done in the middle of the race as well. Then you stay all the way to the right-hand side, brake on the curbs, off the track, because it does give you a little bit of extra speed, and then hug the inside line as you go through turn number 12. Late onto the brakes, hit that late apex, back onto the power you go, foot flat to the floor, and your tyres are really screaming on a qualifying lap and on the race. There's going to be a lot of tyre management, especially through the long corners of 11 and 12. Then brakes. The brakes are critical going into this penultimate corner. If you do mess up your braking a little bit, you carry too much speed, you go over the curbs, and you ruin your entire run going down the next start-finish straight. And as you may notice on this circuit here in Bahrain, we have got quite a few big braking zones. In fact, probably one of the most braking heavy circuits on the entire calendar. If you exclude Monza, of course. There is so much braking taking place on this circuit. Big braking zone into turn number 1, big braking zone into turn number 4. In fact, let me just show you up on the screen. Yeah, so we got big braking zone into turn number 1, big braking zone into turn number 4, big braking zone into turn number 11, and another big braking zone into the final corner as well. So the brakes are a very contentious issue. The drivers have to manage them quite a bit. Verstappen was having brake issues yesterday, which explains his little bit lack of pace. But yeah, it's not been ideal, to be honest, for a couple of the drivers around here. And the brakes are really going to really feel, the brakes are going to be pushed to the limits. Okay. I'm going to have a quick sip of water here. Red Bull have changed the brakes on Max Verstappen's car following issues from yesterday. No penalty applies for changing components under Parc Fermé. That is correct. So hopefully Verstappen's brake issues will have been fixed. We'll see if they have been. As soon as he gets out onto the grid and onto doing a couple of laps, we'll find out. He'll be very vocal over the radio. We'll keep our eyes peeled on the right hand side of the screen, and we'll see what happens. If if Verstappen does have his brake issues fixed. Okay, F1 Gamer, will you ever do commentary about Formula 2 and Formula 3 races in the future? I probably would if I had access to the data. For the Formula 2 and Formula 3 races, there's no data to be had, so yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate that there's no data, so it'd kind of just be like a radio show, which isn't ideal. Right, 19 minutes left to go then, and doing a one-stop here could be possible only if there is a lot of laps spent behind the safety car. If there aren't a lot of laps spent behind the safety car, then I think a two-stop would have to be guaranteed. But we shall wait and see. There's definitely a chance for safety car around this circuit. So many big braking zones, so many chances for drivers crashing into each other. Who knows what will happen. Okay. Are you watching the official F1 channel? Yeah, I'm watching Sky Sports because I'm here in the UK. All right. Let's see, do you think Antonelli will get a podium? Honestly, there is a real good shot of Antonelli getting a podium. He's done fantastically this weekend, managed to keep up with Russell very well. Of course, Russell had that final little edge at the end of quali, but sooner or later, Antonelli will start picking up the pace as well and being able to match Russell right at the peak of quali as well. So I think Antonelli's got a good shot here, but the thing is, so is Leclerc, so is Russell. He's got to overtake Gasly, which should be possible, but then overtaking either his teammate or Leclerc is going to be a bit more tough. Okay. I'm foregoing a third monitor this morning. I still have this ridiculous setup. Interesting. Yeah, no. Of course, some people like to have all the data on one side of the screen, have all of the actual coverage on the other side of on another screen. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna have a quick sip of water, and we're gonna have 57 laps of racing around here, with probably a two-stop race. Okay, the other thing to consider is that, Lando Norris and Max Verstappen, they've got a lot of work to do. Starting in 6th and 7th position, Antonelli, Gasly, Russell, Leclerc, they're not going to be easy overtakes. Once the race settles down, it's not going to be easy to get past all of them very, very quickly. So yeah, they've got a lot of work to do. The strategy's going to have to work in their favour as well, and then going to have to put in some consistent lap times. Lando Norris did look pretty depressed, really, after the end of qualifying. He was like, "Oh, I've just not got enough pace. I don't know." Someone asked him, "Oh, what was the issue? Was there an issue with the car? Was there something else wrong?" And he just pointed at himself. "I was the problem." So, yeah. Let's see what Lando can do, and if he can bounce back from his bad quali. Because, we've seen this happen in the past. Oscar, at Australia, at his home Grand Prix, messed up, went off onto the grass, and then finished the race down in the points when down in like 9th position or 8th position or something, when he should have been up in 2nd place. And then the following weekend in China, bounced right back, got pole position for the first time in his career, got a race win as well. So yeah, if Piastri can do that, then, you'd hope that Lando Norris would be able to do that as well. Hard, medium, soft is a smart strategy, or is it stupid? Is it? I think it's not really that optimal. The hard tyres don't have much grip around here, and with track temperatures down at 33 degrees, the medium tyres are going to operate much, much better than the hards. So you're kind of just giving away positions at the start of the race by starting the race on the hard tyre. Yeah. Okay. Turn 9 and 10 are the pain in the rear. Yeah, honestly, turn 9 and 10, locking up is so easy. On the F1 games as well, that's very easy, but of course in real life as well, very easy. We saw drivers, I think at least 12 drivers lock up through the practice sessions into turn number 9 and 10. We saw even George Russell spin at turn number 9 and 10 because the grip levels were so low in FP3. So we'll just have to wait and see. Okay, Exotech, thank you for the $5 donation. Oh, also, I've added the new emotes in, the ones that you asked to be added in. So, yeah, hope you enjoy that. Great question from another viewer. I also would love answered, where are all the overtaking zones and corners? So, the key overtaking zones, so I'll show you, in fact, on the screen here with my cursor. Yeah, okay. So, you from the starting grid, you've got 300 meters down to overtake towards turn number 1, 300 meters till you hit the brakes at turn number 1, and then you can go side by side or just one behind another through turn number 2 and 3, then you've got another DRS zone and an overtaking zone towards turn number 4, then you have to kind of go single file through 5 and 6. If you're sneaky like Fernando Alonso, you can get an overtake done at 8 or 9 and 10. Then 11, there's another DRS zone here, so there is a chance, if there's a big pace difference, you can get an overtake done into turn number 11. And then another, you don't really overtake at the penultimate on the final corner, you kind of just set up the overtakes going down into turn number 1 again. So those are the overtaking zones at this circuit. All right, we've got 5,000 people tuned into live stream. Thank you everyone for tuning in. We are 15 minutes away from lights out. Brilliant. Okie dokes. So here we go then. Let me know who you think is going to win this race. Is it going to be Oscar Piastri? Is he just going to run away with this one? Is it going to be Charles Leclerc in second place, gets an overtake done and then manages to hold off Piastri for the entire race? Or will it be George Russell? Yeah, let me know what you think and who you think it's going to be. Okay. I think it might be Pierre Gasly. Well, maybe Pierre Gasly could have certainly could have a good run. This is definitely his favourite circuit. It's definitely his best circuit. So there's a real shot that Pierre Gasly could definitely score a podium here, and if not, then maybe a race win. That would be pretty wild. Okay. Yeah. So what else have we got to talk about? The tyre degradation at this circuit. The soft tyres lose around 1.5 tenths of pace every single lap. The medium tyres lose 1/10 of pace every single lap, and the hard tyres lose 3/4 of a tenth of pace every lap. So there's a lot of tyre wear between the softs and the mediums. Not that much of a difference between the mediums and the hards. So yeah, the medium tyre is really the optimal race tyre, and we'll see what the drivers do. You lose 23 seconds in the pit lane. That includes your pit stop. So if you come into the pit lane under green flag conditions, you'll lose 23 seconds of race time. If you come into the pit lane when the safety car or the virtual safety car is out, you'll only lose 16 seconds of race time. If we look at the previous races here, all the way back from 2017 to 2024, we have had a safety car 2/3 of the time, and we've had a virtual safety car half of the time, and we've had a red flag 13% of the time as well. It is most definitely going to be a two-stop race unless there is loads of loads of safety cars. So that's the predicted strategy. The predicted strategy by Pirelli: soft, medium, medium. If the tyre is low, if the tyre is high, medium, hard, medium, and apart from that, there are loads of different options. You know, you could start the race on the soft, you could do your final stint on the hards, final stint on the mediums. We shall just wait and see. Okay. I have by the way, folks, I have changed all of the colours here. Well, not all of the colours, only some of the colours. I've changed the Alpines to pink. I think it's fairly obvious. And I've changed the Alpha Tauris from a light blue to a white, just to make sure that we have a little bit less blue on the screen. We had Alpine as blue, and Red Bull as blue, and Williams as blue, and Alpha Tauri is blue as well. So yeah, I just had to get rid of a little bit of the blue, make it a bit easier to read. Right, now I'll talk about George Russell and Kimi Antonelli's penalty. So if you guys remember back to Q2, we had a red flag because somebody crashed. I forgot who, it was Ocon that crashed. Yeah, Ocon that crashed. And the FIA sent out a message, which, you know, I had never personally seen before, and they had never sent it out before this year, but they have started sending out messages, predicted resumption time of the qualifying session. So they predicted qualifying was going to resume within 2 minutes. It wasn't an official message saying this is when qualifying is going to restart. They just said this is when we predict it's going to restart. So the teams are only allowed to send out their cars when they know for certain when qualifying is going to restart. So they have to wait for the race control message saying race restart at, you know, whatever time. Whereas what happened yesterday was Mercedes saw the message qualifying restart predicted at X time, like whichever time, and they sent out the two cars. However, they sent it out when the restart time was predicted rather than when it was confirmed, which is a breach of the regulations, and they gained a little bit of an advantage because of that, because they went and sat out in the pit lane, let their tires cool down, and that was a tiny advantage that they gained. So because of that, they got a penalty. Yeah, slightly unfortunate, but it's really not the end of the world. It's only a one-place grid drop, and I'm sure George Russell will just send one to the inside into turn number 1, and he could get that position back ASAP. Okay, yeah, Hulkenberg got his lap time deleted 45 minutes after the end of the session, which was ridiculous. I totally missed out on that because I was looking at some other lap times that were getting deleted, but no, Hulkenberg got his lap time deleted 45 minutes after he'd done it, which was stupid, and Albon would have made it through into Q2, but he didn't get the opportunity to set his lap because he thought he was eliminated. Yeah, bit ridiculous, to be honest. Okay. I'm going to have a quick sip of water. 8 minutes and 40 seconds left to go till the start of the session. Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't hit the like button, please be sure to do so. It really helps out the channel. The YouTube algorithm absolutely loves it when you press the like button. Right at the start of the live stream, we're only, 20 minutes in. And yeah, we've still got another hour and a half or so to go. F1 Gamer, any crazy predictions? Well, the prediction that I made, someone asked me this at the start of FP1. I was like, who do you think is going to win the race? I'm like, I have no idea, but I'm going to have a guess that the driver that starts in second place is going to go on to win the race. And that driver started in second place. Who is that? Charles Leclerc. I mean, it would be fantastic to have 4 different race winners in 4 races. That would be mind-blowing. So why not? Well, why not? Let's see if Leclerc can win this race. Okay. All right. Thank you, Groggy Jr., for joining the channel members. That's very much appreciated, buddy. Okay. You supporting anyone this season? No, still a lifelong Seb Vettel fan, so no favourites have been picked for this season so far. All right. Yeah, not long now till we get underway for the race. I will take you through every single driver that's on the grid, and we'll have the formation lap in 8 minutes time, and then after the formation lap we'll of course have the race. Track temperature 33 degrees Celsius, air temperature 27.3 degrees Celsius. So track temperature is around about the track temperature that we had in FP2. That is when McLaren looked like they had the best race pace. Lando Norris even predicted, Oscar is going to lap everyone and I'm just going to try and come in second place. That's what he personally said. So that's how much he believes in McLaren's race pace. He literally said, Oscar's going to lap everyone and I'm going to try and get second place. So let's just wait and see what happens. But obviously the McLarens look very, very good. They looked really good until qualifying rolled around and George Russell and Charles Leclerc got surprisingly close. And well, only time will tell what will happen. The time was only 6 minutes and 30 seconds, and then we'll find out what will happen. Okay, how's the weather? It's sunny and, well, it's not sunny, it's actually dark because it's the night time here in Bahrain, but yeah, it's dark and 0% chance of rain as is standard in a desert, and we shall be underway very, very soon. Yeah, in fact, on the bottom of the screen there, I've written hot and sunny day in Bahrain. It was a hot and sunny day, now it is. The sun has set and the floodlights are on and we're about to go racing. All right, 9,000 people, 10,000 people tune into the live stream. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Very much is appreciated. Okie dokes, what else have we got going on here? Not too much really. We're just getting some radio checks coming through here. Radio checks to Fernando, radio checks to Jack Doohan, Lando Norris, and we'll be underway for some racing very, very shortly. All right. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to have a fantastic race here under the desert, under the lights in the desert. Okay. So I'll run through the circuit, in fact, one more time, and then we'll run through all of the drivers as we get ready for the formation lap. What else have we really got to talk about? Oh yeah, Yuki Tsunoda. We'll see how he can do. He obviously made it through into Q3, which was a good improvement from Suzuka. So, if he can continue make some steady progress, maybe end up in the top 6, I think that would be a satisfactory result, really. On his Formula 1 debut here, Yuki Tsunoda scored points in 2021. So, yeah, he's done a good job previously here in Bahrain in the Toro Rosso, or the AlphaTauri, or whatever you want to call it. And we shall see if he can do it again now in the senior Red Bull. Dagan Diver, thank you for the $5 donation. Thanks for the live. Very much is appreciated, buddy. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in as well. I mean, 10,000 people tuning in. That's mind-blowing. Stargazer46, thank you for joining the channel member. Very much is appreciated. All right. So here we go then. I'll take you through a lap of the circuit. Then we're going to go through a list of all of the drivers and what their form is like. Okay, so here we go. Into turn number 1 at Bahrain. Up the hill you go through turn number 2 and 3. We saw Ocon spin here, go off into the left-hand side and crash, but his car is fine. He'll be starting from 14th place today. Into turn number 4, track limits, very, very careful here. If you do overtake someone at the outside the track limits, you will get your lap time deleted. Exceed track limits more than 3 times in the race today, you'll get a 5-second time penalty. Going down towards turn number 8, a downhill braking zone here, and yeah, very easy to spin the rears up because you are at a low speed. You lose all the downforce that you get, which you have in the higher gears and the higher speed. Locking up is very, very easy through this corner, but the drivers shift the brake balance backwards and they manage to deal with it. Then they've got DRS through here up towards turn number 11, and 4th gear, foot flat to the floor basically as you get out there. And now the rear tires really start to struggle. Your car slides around a little bit, hits the bottom of the ground. There are a few bumps on the road here as well. And then late apex for turn number 13, straight onto the power you go. And the most important corner here, the penultimate corner, because if you get a bad exit out of here, you're a sitting duck down the straight. And we've just got the tyre information. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be fantastic. Look at this. We've got a mix of the mediums and the softs, and we still don't know what tyre Max is starting on, but we'll get that coming through shortly. All right, so that's a lap of the Bahrain Grand Prix circuit. We've got the tyre information. This is interesting, a mix of tyres here. A lot of drivers starting on the softs, but we've also got a couple of brave souls on the medium tyre, which may play out badly for them. Charles Leclerc, he's on a fresh set of mediums, but, Charles, if you have a bad race start and you get a bit of wheel spin, everyone is going to drive past you. Okay, so let's wait and see what's going to happen here. Once again, I am sponsored by F1 TV, so if you guys are interested, there's a link in the description where you get to watch all of the coverage, all of the team radios, all of the onboards, everything that you could ever want about Formula 1, you get with F1 TV Pro, so there's a link in the description. Go ahead and check that out, but that's going to be the end of that. A minute 40 till we get underway. All right, so Verstappen, he's also starting the race on the soft tyre, so Hamilton on the mediums, Charles Leclerc on the mediums, we've got Alonso on the mediums, Bortoletto and Lawson on the mediums. Okay, so 5 drivers on the mediums and 15 drivers on the softs. All of the drivers in the top 10, they're all on used soft tyres. Well, the drivers who are on softs and they're in the top 10, they're on used softs. Everyone below the top 10 is on a fresh set of soft tyres. It is a Ferrari strategy indeed. I know, classic Ferrari strategy, but it may work out for them. We've seen this back in the past, back in the glory days of Sebastian Vettel. Okay, well, probably not the glory days, but back in 2018 when Seb Vettel was driving with Ferrari, he pulled off a one-stop here in Bahrain and went super duper long on a set of super soft tyres. And, maybe we could see a repeat occurrence of that from Charles Leclerc. That would be something sensational. Will Anthony score a debut podium? I mean, there's definitely a chance here. If you can get ahead of Gasly and then Charles Leclerc gets a bad race start, he goes up into the podium places, and that is on pure pace, pure skill as well. So it's all to play for here, ladies and gentlemen. We are 30 seconds away from the start of the formation lap. I cannot wait for this race. We've got 16,000 people tuned into live stream. Thank you everyone for tuning in. We are going to have an absolutely fantastic Bahrain Grand Prix. If you haven't hit the like button, please be sure to do so. All of the engineers, all of the mechanics have moved over to the side of the track. We have got all of the engines are started, and sooner or later they're going to start driving off onto the grid for the start of the formation lap here, ladies and gents. All right, what is your opinion on Piastri? I think Piastri is a fantastic driver. Of course, down in Australia, he had his bad race. He spun off into the grass and then ended up in 9th place or 8th place or something. Bounced back in China, and I think he's a fantastic title contender. Here we go. We got the drivers leading their way off from the formation lap. Oscar Piastri makes his way down towards turn number 1. The braking zone from turn number 1 down towards, from the starting grid towards turn number 1 is 300 meters. The drivers have got 300 meters to accelerate, then start hitting the brakes before they reach the apex of turn number 1. The drivers with even numbers, the drivers with odd numbers like Piastri, Russell, 1, 3, 5 and so forth, they have the clean side of the grid. The drivers with even numbers, they have the slightly dirtier side of the grid, but it doesn't matter all that much. We're still here in the desert. There's still so much dust and sand flying about. The dirtiness and the cleanliness of your starting grid position doesn't have the biggest of impacts. All right. So there we go. Let's get rid of this timer, and in fact, let me just modify the size of all of this stuff here on the screen for whatever reason. There we go. They were just getting cut off there. Yeah, all the drivers are getting cut off as they go towards turn number. Yeah, let me just move the radios. Give me a sec here, ladies and gentlemen. We've got 22,000 people tuned in. We've got the formation lap underway, and we are about to go racing. DRS has been disabled, of course, for the start of this race. It will be enabled in a very few number of laps. Thank you, Exotoke, for the second donation of this stream. Chat some love for F1 Gamers' 5th anniversary. That is true. This is the 5th year. The channel started on the 14th of April 2020. Now, today is the 13th of April 2025. I was about to say 2024, but it's 2025. And we are 5 years on from the start of this channel. And honestly, I must say, what a journey it has been. Okay, so this is it then. We have got Oscar Piastri making his way out of the final corner towards the starting grid, and then we have got behind him Charles Leclerc starting on a fresh set of medium tyres. We'll see how that works out for him. Then we've got George Russell with a brilliant qualifying yesterday. Unfortunately lost a place due to a grid penalty down into 3rd. Gasly with a banging qualifying, simply sensational from him. He's starting in 4th. He'll be very pleased with that. Kimi Antonelli, this is his highest ever starting position in his Formula 1 career. Let's wait and see if he can convert that into a podium. Lando Norris, a lot of work to do. The same can be said for Max Verstappen, starting alongside each other on the grid in 6th and 7th position. Sorry, they're not starting alongside each other. But nonetheless, track temp is 32 degrees there. Thanks, Dominic, for the donation. And Max Verstappen makes his way into his grid slot. And look at that, he's already poised the car, ready to cut off Lando Norris. Oh, you just love to see it here from Max Verstappen. He's getting ready to chop up Lando Norris as soon as the race starts. We love this battle between these two drivers. All right, Carlos Sainz in 8th place. Good job from him. He's finally got to grips with that Mercedes power unit, and it looks like he can deliver some real good performance in that Williams. Hamilton with a bad qualifying yesterday, losing out 2-3 tenths in both in the second sector and third sector compared to Charles Leclerc. He's in 9th. Tsunoda finally making it into Q3 with the Red Bull. Good job from him. Thanks, Jenny, for joining the channel member. And then we've got Doohan in 11th, Hadjar in 12th, Alonso in 13th, Ocon in 14th, Albon in 15th, Hulkenberg in 16th, Lawson in 17th, Bortoletto 18th, Stroll 19th, Oliver Behrman in 20th position. Ladies and gentlemen, we have got all 20 cars lined up on the grid. We have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights, and it is lights out and away we go here in Bahrain. What a start from Oscar Piastri. Charles Leclerc losing a lot of ground off the line on those medium tyres. He's pushed to the inside line. Can Russell get the lead? Oh, Russell locks up, but he's continuing on, and we've got a fantastic start here from Lando Norris up into 4th position from Norris. What a race start going up into turn number 4. He gets ahead of Charles Leclerc. Leclerc unfortunately losing 2 places, but what a start from Norris, up 3 places after a bad qualifying yesterday. Has bounced back immediately, and Yeah, good start there from him. And someone's going down slow. So, Antonelli's had an issue. He goes to the back of the... Oh, no. He's... Okay, never mind. Antonelli's not had an issue. He's just dropped down the order and come back up again. Apologies for that. Down into 7th place for Antonelli. He's lost 2 places. Not a total spin. Okay, so... Good start there from Oscar Piastri, but the main thing is, look at that gap, ladies and gentlemen. It is 1.1 seconds, and we are 2 sectors into this race. 2 sectors, and Oscar Piastri is already broken DRS to George Russell. Simply ridiculous. Apologies here for the data slightly freezing. Hopefully that... fixes itself. And we got Hadjar. Hadjar's lost 5 places of the race start. Bad race start for him. Hulkenberg's lost 4 places as well. Not ideal. Hamilton holds position, even though he's on those medium tyres, manages to hang on. Leclerc just didn't have a very good race start and lost 2 places, unfortunately. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment we've been waiting for. DRS has been enabled. And, well, George Russell, look at this. He's within 7/10 of Piastri, had a perfect final sector, and is now going to try and stay with him. Okay, oh my god, a huge lockup from one of the Hasses. Who was that? I think that was Behrman. Huge lockup, loses a couple of places there as well going into turn number 1. And I can tell you, lockups are going to be very frequent and very common at the circuit. The braking is so tricky, and... the 2 Saubers at the back are fighting amongst themselves, and very close battle there between Bortoleto and Hulkenberg as well. Interesting. Yeah, Norris did not bottle the start whatsoever, and in fact had an anti-bottle start, and up into 3rd place he went. So a sensational start there from Lando Norris. We got 30,000 people tuned into the live stream. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe. Very much would be appreciated if you can hit 8,000 likes. That would be incredible, and 143k subs as well. That would be amazing. All right, Kimi Antonelli, track limits already. He's got our track limits deleted at turn number 7. I think that's when he went off on the opening lap, and that's why he lost a couple of places. But nonetheless, a track limits extension there for Kimi Antonelli. He's going to have to be careful. 2 more, and he'll end up with a 5-place grid penalty. But if we're just watching the restart here of Lando Norris, he got an amazing launch, and then just a slipstream Pierre Gasly going in towards turn number 1. Super duper late on the brakes, goes round the outside of Charles Leclerc, and says, "Thank you very much. I'll take that 3rd place off you, mate." All right, but look at this. Russell has lost DRS to Piastri, and Norris is now closing up to his fellow Brit. Both drivers joined Formula 1 in 2019. George Russell was in the Williams. He's got promoted up to Mercedes. Lando Norris has been with McLaren ever since he joined Formula 1, and now the 2 drivers going head-to-head in their 6th season of Formula 1. All right, Max Verstappen, he's in 8th position, and we'll keep an eye out on the radios here, but he's going to be very vocal sooner rather than later if his brakes aren't working properly. He was having brake issues yesterday. They replaced the brakes after qualifying had finished in the hopes of fixing any sort of issues, and, we'll see if... Max Verstappen has got some more pace. Look at that purple first sector from him. He's got to overtake Kimi Antonelli if he's got to make any progress up the field. But Oscar Piastri is flying. That gap is 1.5 seconds, and Lando Norris is on George Russell's tail. Here they go, up towards turn number 11. Lando Norris super duper late onto the brakes, and he's trying to carry as much speed as he can through all of these corners and not get affected by the dirty air too much. But the soft tyres, as we know, track temperature is lowering. Track temperature's down to 31 degrees, but overheating will still be an issue, especially for these soft tyres. So, once he starts feeling the issues of the tyre wear and dirty air and things like that, then Charles Leclerc is right behind him, ready to pounce on the medium tyres, on the more resilient medium tyres that can take a bit more of a beating than the softs can. And rather than Lando Norris attacking George Russell, he's going to have company from behind him of Charles Leclerc. So he's got to be very, very careful on how he manages his attacking strategy. Oh, did Lando get a false start? It has been position noted. Lando Norris, false start, out of position. Oh my goodness here, ladies and gentlemen. Is he going to get a 5-second time penalty? Is it going to be a drive-through, a 10-second penalty? Let's just wait and see. But it has just come through the race control message. A false start here for Lando Norris. And... it's just unfortunate. He gets a grace rate start, but it's still going to be bottled because he's still going to get hit with a 5-second penalty. And, You got a feel for the guy, you know, had a great race start. Finally, after having so many bad race starts, one race after another, finally gets a good one. And then, into the back, and then he gets noted for a false start. We'll see what happens there. We've got a fastest lap counter. Let's pop one fastest lap up there for Oscar Piastri. And look at this. The drivers are already in tyre conservation mode. You can just tell. Look at this tyre wear. The fastest lap of the race was from Oscar Piastri, a 1:37.4. Now they're doing 1:38. So they're 6/10 slower than their previous... than their fastest laps. So yeah, everyone in tyre conservation modes, and as I said, the soft tyres wear out 1.5 tenths per second. 1.5 tenths per second, that makes no sense. 1.5 tenths per lap. So every lap you drive with the soft tyres, they get 1.5 tenths slower. Of course, some of that pace is offset by the fact that your fuel will burn off and your car will get slightly lighter, but nonetheless, the soft tyres wear out rapidly. Is 5 seconds not too little? He's made up more than 5 seconds. Well, we'll wait and see. We'll see what the stewards have got to say. Norris is currently under investigation. We've just got the message from the stewards now. It came through about 4 seconds ago. Incident involving car number 4, Lando Norris, under investigation. False start, out of position. We've got a brilliant overtake here from Kimi Antonelli. He gets ahead of Carlos Sainz. Carlos Sainz is going to go very, very racy against him. In fact, Sainz is now under pressure from Max Verstappen, going towards turn number 4. Verstappen on the outside, Sainz on the inside, and he is defending for his life, is Carlos Sainz. Will Verstappen get the overtake done within track limits? Oh, over the gravel he goes, but round the outside he goes through turn number 5 and 6. What a move there from Max. Utter commitment. He can see the gravel trap millimeters away, but still has his foot flat to the floor, and he comes over the radio immediately saying, doesn't leave a car's width. And Verstappen, the next radio message from him is, I have no grip, which is fantastic. Verstappen noted Lando was out of position before the race started. It was on his radio. Well, you love these Formula 1 drivers. They are great snitchers, aren't they? Max Verstappen snitching away, and fair enough, isn't it? He's in a championship battle with Lando Norris, so we'll wait and see. Alright, Esteban Ocon, lap time deleted there, track limits at turn number 4, but this is all on lap number 1, so I think this might be exceptions here. Antonelli, Alonso, Ocon all exceeded track limits at turn number 4 on lap 1, so I think they should get away with that. Okay, Bono, my tyres are gone. Indeed, yeah, when Max Verstappen says, oh, I've got no grip, you can just wait for him to set a fastest lap of the race on the next lap, yeah. Okay, and... Norris is still behind Russell, unable to get closer. However, Leclerc was previously not within DRS range here of Lando Norris, and now he is. So, yeah, slowly but surely, these soft tyres are wearing out. We've got lap number 15 is the pit window for the soft tyres. So once we reach lap number 15, we'll see drivers come into the pits. In fact, Nico Hülkenberg has already come into the pits here. So let's, first driver on the soft coming into the pits. He's going to go for a early 2-stop strategy, unless he's coming into the pits to retire. Oh no, he's coming out of the pits. There we go. Okay. All right, we've got 35,000 people tuned into the live stream, only 3,500 likes. Folks, if you are enjoying the coverage, be sure to hit the like button. Really does help out the channel. Hopefully, we can make our way towards 8,000 likes. This is the 5-year anniversary of the channel. It would be incredible if we can break a couple of records here and there. We had a record-breaking FP3 session, record-breaking qualifying session, the most number of people that have ever watched a qualifying session on this channel, and in fact on YouTube in general. So yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in, and hopefully we can continue on breaking some records around here. F1 Gamer, can you fix the statistic on the top row? I don't know what you mean. Fix the statistic on the top row. Yeah, we've got all of the drivers just up as standard. Okay, I'm going to have a quick sip of water because otherwise my throat's going to start to hurt. But Norris within DRS range of Russell here, but still not able to get close. George Russell putting in some brilliant sector times, and he's being very, very consistent here. One thing that we do know about George Russell, he is super duper consistent, and that's what's got him a couple of podiums here this season. He got a podium in Australia, got a podium in China, and that was purely just through not overtaking skill or nothing like that, just consistent lap times, lap after lap. So yeah, we'll see if he can continue on and get his third podium of the season. Isaac Hadjar comes into the pits, though, for a set of medium tyres. All right, so Isaac and peeled now. People are going to have a look at what Nico Hülkenberg can do on a fresh set of medium tyres. Isaac Hadjar just makes his way out of the pit lane, and they are going to be very close. And in fact, Nico Hülkenberg jumps ahead of Isaac Hadjar. The undercut has worked wonders here, and this is the thing. When tyre wear is high, the undercut is absolute magic. It's magic, I must tell you. You gain so much time. So yeah, we're going to have to be careful here and keep an eye peeled for the team radios. When someone says box, we're about to get some undercuts coming through. I play the F1 games on a Thrustmaster TXM. That's what I've recorded my onboard lap on. I'll show you that a little bit later on. But we've got the drivers flying around here on lap number 7 of 57. 51 laps left to go of this race. And Oscar Piastri, look at that lead. 2.5 seconds ahead of the competition. And he is leading from the front. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have got the time penalty from the stewards. It is a 5-second time penalty for Lando Norris for a false start out of position. 5-second time penalty. Some people may say he may have gained a little bit more time than that, but to be honest, Norris started the race in 6th position. Antonelli, as of this moment in time right now, is 5 seconds behind him. So I think that's more than fair. In fact, Antonelli is 4 seconds behind him. So that would put him behind Antonelli and in front of Max Verstappen. So I think that is fair enough. Obviously, some people want it to be a little bit harsher. Some people want it to be a little bit less harsh. But if you look at it purely from a lap time perspective and the gaps on the field right now, Lando Norris, if he had that 5-second penalty applied at this very moment, he would come out probably behind Max as well, actually. So we'll wait and see what happens. All right. Yeah, but Max Verstappen was very, very keen there. Lando Norris was probably about 10 centimetres ahead of his grid box, and that really helped him out. And I mean, this is what I'm telling. Formula One is a sport of fine margins. He had a 10 centimetre head start off the starting grid, and he gained 3 positions off the race start. Like, obviously, some of that was due to the fact that he did get a good start off the line, but still, 10 centimetre margin contributed a lot to that as well. Look at this, Isaac Hadjar, purple in the first sector here. The medium tyres work absolute wonders, especially once you've got no dirty air ahead of you. So purple first sector there from Isaac Hadjar, and he's going to be, he's going to be... All of the engineers are going to be looking at his lap times now. They're going to be like, right, the medium tyres look actually pretty good. So maybe it's time to pit onto these tyres sooner rather than later and undercut someone. I mean, Lando Norris is going to be doing that. As soon as the Mercedes mechanics see box over Norris's radio, they're going to be like, right, Russell, time to push, time to go Mr. Saturday qualifying mode. Otherwise, you are going to get undercut. All right, Leclerc's come over the radio. These brakes are so inconsistent. It's so annoying. And then they just come over the radio to Leclerc saying, it's not much we can do right now. Oh my goodness me, what an overtake. Carlos Sainz tries to get ahead of Lewis Hamilton tries to get ahead of Carlos Sainz. He goes all the way to the left-hand side. Carlos Sainz has absolutely none of it. What a defense from Carlos Sainz. The driver who obviously replaced him at Ferrari, he's defending for that position with his life is Carlos Sainz. There's obviously a little bit of spite there, but nonetheless, Carlos Sainz, what a defensive maneuver going into turn number 5. Fantastic. And that has closed them right up. Tsunoda's right on the back of Hamilton. We've got a 4-way fight for 8th position. Here comes Yuki Tsunoda. Is he going to get the overtake done? No, he's not. Carlos Sainz goes defensive into 11 and Hamilton swoops around the outside. Carlos Sainz could hold on as much as he wanted to, but that Williams has not got the pace that the Ferrari has. And the soft tyres are wearing out, ladies and gentlemen. This is it. This is the crossover point. After 8 laps or so, the medium tyres start getting faster than the softs, and Hamilton is starting to make some moves. Piastri's come over the radio, starting to struggle a bit. Piastri is the driver that has had clean air from lap number 1. He has had clean air, so if he's starting to struggle, then everyone else most certainly will be struggling at this moment in time. All right, Isaac Hadjar, fastest lap of the race here from Hadjar. That's what I'm saying. The medium tyres are incredible. Purple middle sector here from Esteban Ocon. And sooner or later, we're going to have one of the front runners pit, and then we're going to have a huge gaggle of everyone coming into the pits, trying not to get undercut. All right, we've got Kimi Antonelli getting very, very racy against Pierre Gasly. He goes for the switchback and he gets that overtake done. What a move from the rookie. Kimi Antonelli into turn number 5, gets ahead of Pierre Gasly. Fantastic move from Antonelli. Wait, was Antonelli defending? Maybe I was slightly wrong there. Apologies for that. I've been slightly distracted. Hamilton said the softs are starting to struggle. Interesting. Okay, Jack Doohan's come into the pits as well. Now all of the front runners, they're just waiting for a gap to open up because you lose 23 seconds in the pit lane. So let's see if Oscar Piastri comes into the pits now. Where is he going to come out? He's going to come out in between Alonso, Lawson, Behrman. There's going to be a huge amount of traffic for him. So the main thing for him is to just make sure there's a bit of a gap, a bit of clean air. When he comes into the pits, he will have some clean drivers, some clean air, ahead of him so he doesn't get stuck in any traffic. Add Hadjar to the fastest lap count. Sure, why not? I shall do that. The guy deserves some credit. I think I might have to get rid of some. Let's see. I think that crosses over onto the thing. I think that crosses over the text, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay, I'll just make it slightly smaller. Should be fine. Okay, so first of the front runners, Norris, Gasly, Verstappen, all pit on the same lap. Oh, this could get very, very spicy coming out of the pit lane. Here comes Verstappen with a 4.7 second stop. Very slow again from Red Bull. 2.8 seconds for Pierre Gasly. And Lando Norris serves his 5-second time penalty as well. Does he serve his 5-second time penalty? I think he does, yeah. I think Norris did serve his 5-second time penalty in the pit lane. So that is the end. So that 5-second time penalty has been removed. He served it in the pits and he should be good to go for the end of the race now. But look at that. He's lost quite a bit of time, to be honest. Russell isn't at threat of being undercut now because, of course, Norris has a 5-second time penalty. And now Russell can set his sights on trying to catch up to Piastri. But look at that gap, 3.6 seconds. I mentioned it a couple of laps earlier. It was 2.5, now 3.7. It's just getting bigger and bigger. What can you say about Lewis Hamilton's strategies? Well, I mean, it's Ferrari strategies. It's not really Lewis Hamilton strategies. And honestly, right now, it's not looking so good for Ferraris. Maybe in a couple of laps' time, it will come to them. But as of right now, we don't know. Okay, let's see. So they have got clean air there. Norris, Gasly, Verstappen. Ocon is the only traffic that Verstappen has got. And then he's got Gasly to fight for position. Yeah. Piastri fastest lap. Yeah, Piastri's fastest lap is already up on the counter. That was his previous fastest lap. He hasn't actually set a new fastest lap here. Has Oscar Piastri. All right, Tsunoda into the pits, and all the drivers come into the pits sooner rather than later. The tyre wear is extremely high around this circuit, and we are going to see a lot of drivers pitting quite early. Okay. All right, here we go then. We got a lap number 12 of 57. We got 40,000 people tuned into live stream. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Very much is appreciated. Hope you guys are enjoying the coverage. Yeah, it's incredible. We got loads of people watching. Okay, and we're getting towards a record here, ladies and gents. The record number of people we've had on the stream is 51.6k. So if we can get another 10,000 people watching, then we will be going on our way to break records again for the channel. It's weird seeing Max down in P16. Yeah, I mean, of course, Max has just come into the pit, so that's why he's down in P16. But nonetheless, it is a little bit odd, isn't it? Verstappen is out on a set of hard tyres here, ladies and gents. Verstappen is the only driver on the grid that has got 2 fresh sets of hard tyres. And what are we seeing right now on the track? We're seeing extremely high tyre wear. So this advantage of the extremely high tyre wear is kind of swinging in Max Verstappen's favour here. And if the hard tyres can provide sufficient grip, which they couldn't really in the practice sessions, but if Max Verstappen can switch them on properly, then he could be in for a shot of, doing a good recovery drive, maybe getting up into third place. It's going to be a long fought battle though. Kimi Antonelli makes his way into the pit lane, the first of the Mercedes drivers into the pits, and they come into the pit box and they bolt on a set of medium tyres for Kimi Antonelli. He makes his way out the pit box with a nice little drift and 2.5 second stop for the Mercedes crew. All right, Lance Stroll into the pits as well. And the top three still going strong. Charles Leclerc in third position on those medium tyres, and the gap isn't that huge. It's 6 seconds to Oscar Piastri, but I'm sure he could gain that. And look at that, Max Verstappen has really switched on those tyres. Fastest lap of the race there from Mr. Verstappen, and well, he's a man on a mission, isn't he? He is not going to give up his 5th world title so easily. And let's wait and see what he can do for the rest of this race. He's got Esteban Ocon up ahead of him, and then he's got a bit of clean air to catch up to Bortoleto. He's on hard tyres as well. Max Verstappen, an absolute machine. Yuki Tsunoda, he had a bit of a slow pit stop, I think. Yellow flashing, oh my god, I don't know exactly what that means, but I think he had something flashing on his steering wheel saying that he shouldn't have left the pit box or something for Tsunoda. This is Tsunoda. I don't know though. He seems to be doing fine, and he's still driving around, so no issues, I'm guessing, from him. Fastest lap on hards while Piastri's on softs. Yeah, I mean, Piastri's on 16 lap old soft tyres, so they're not exactly the same. George Russell comes into the pits now. Piastri will be coming into the pits ASAP just to make sure he doesn't get undercut by his rival. And yeah, and then we'll have the 2 Ferraris out at the front because they're on their set of medium tyres. 2.2 second stop there for George Russell. Fantastic stop from the Merc crew. Okay. Yeah. So the drivers still yet to pit. The drivers on the soft tyres, still yet to pit are Behrman, Albon, Sainz and Piastri. We know the Williams drivers both can go very, very long on their tyres. The Williams seems to do pretty well on their tyres as well, so they could probably go a couple more laps without coming into the pits, but it's going to be a long race here. Every single lap that you can stretch out your first stint, that's less laps you have to do on your second and third stint. You know, it seems fairly obvious, but right at the end of the race, when the battles start heating up, drivers, everything's being fought for position right there and then. You want to have ideally some fresh sets of tyres that haven't fallen off a cliff. When do you reckon the Ferraris will end up pitting? Well, I'll have a look at Pirelli's strategy and what they suggested the pit stop strategy would be, but it would be around about lap number 25-ish, I think. So Pirelli say the drivers on medium tyres can pit between lap number 16 and 22, but yeah, we'll see what happens. Yeah, lap number 16 and 22 for the medium tyre runners. All right. Here we go then. Oscar Piastri into the pits as expected, just making sure he doesn't get undercut by George Russell. And Charles Leclerc takes the lead of the race. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the first time I think we have had a Ferrari leading an actual race in Formula 1 in 2025. We had, of course, Hamilton leading the sprint race at China, but this is, I think, the first time we've got a Ferrari leading the race. Charles Leclerc is our new race leader, and I must say, the Ferrari delusion still lives on strong. As I can see in the chat here, we've got a couple of stop the count messages, which is very funny indeed. Okay, we've got a couple of people watching over on Twitch as well. I'm streaming on Twitch and YouTube, ladies and gents. If you're interested in watching on Twitch, then it's F1_gamer_5. There's also my Instagram is also F1_gamer_5, but yeah. Not ideal. Oh, in fact, I've just got a text here from my friend. Bro, what is Norris doing over the grid box? Laughing face emoji. Indeed. What was Norris doing, really? Just a little mistake there. I mean, the visibility is pretty poor in these cars, but, you know, he's done this so many times. Norris has got like 90 race starts or something. He must have had more than that. He's got over 100 race starts. And, yeah, a little mistake starting on the grid box there. How many strikes for the track limits? What are the penalties? So it is 3 strikes for the track limits, and then after the 3 strikes, you will get a 5-second time penalty. Okay. So here we go then. Look at that gap between Russell and Piastri, 1.8 seconds. So Russell did gain a fair amount of time. He's out on those fresh mediums. When Piastri was out on his old softs for that 1 lap, and the gap down to 2 seconds, but we'll see if he can catch up and reel him in a little bit. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, if Hamilton, if they continue on, if the Ferraris stay out for a while, then, in fact, I don't think the Ferraris are staying out for a while. We've just got the pit window has just opened up, and we saw some Ferrari mechanics in the pit box with some medium tyres out. Interesting. Oh, Hamilton led one lap in Melbourne. Okay, apologies. I must have forgot that. With all the chaos that happened at Melbourne, and I was probably half asleep as well. Apologies for the mistake. All right, they've come over the radio. They've come over the radio to Leclerc. At the moment, we are still on plan B for Bravo, and Leclerc replies, Delta still for me, and Delta referring to D, meaning plan D. So Leclerc wants to go for plan D, and Ferrari want to go for plan B. Which one do you think is going to be right here, ladies and gents? Is it going to be the Ferrari strategy, or is it going to be the Charles Leclerc strategy? My bets are on Charles Leclerc. It is a little bit too early for the medium tyres on lap number 15 really to come into the pits, so we'll see what happens there. Carlos Sainz eventually does come into the pit lane after 17 laps on his set of soft tyres, and he's boxed for a set of mediums, and we'll have Albon coming in very soon. He's the last of the soft tyre runners continuing on his stint. Plan D equals one stop, maybe. That is if you look at Pirelli's strategies, Pirelli suggested 4 strategies on their website, and the 4th strategy is a one-stop strategy. So maybe that's what it is. Who knows? All right. But here we are, lap number 17 of 57. If Hamilton continues on his stint and Piastri and Russell catch up, Hamilton could actually end up blocking Piastri a little bit and helping his former teammate George Russell catch up to him. So we'll wait and see what happens there. Currently, the gap between Piastri and Hamilton, 5 seconds. But if you look at the lap time difference, Piastri's going a second and a half quicker per lap than Lewis Hamilton, and he's going a second a lap quicker than Charles Leclerc. So yeah, the fresh medium tyres are a lot quicker than the old medium tyres. Surprise, surprise. But Albon comes into the pits for a set of hard tyres here. Sainz's teammate came in for a set of mediums. Albon's out on a set of hards. Sainz, in fact, sets the fastest lap of the race here. Fastest lap of the race here from Carlos Sainz. Very nicely done. In fact, I will add him up onto the screen as well. Why not? All right. One fastest lap of the race there from Carlos Sainz. Brilliant. Okay, we've got 46,000 people tuned into the live stream. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Ladies and gents, we're getting very close to our record now. We're only 1/3 of the way through the race. If we hit 52,000 people watching a live stream, that'll be 3 records broken for the channel in a single weekend. And what a way to have a 5-year channel anniversary. Look at Ocon. Let's have a look. What is Ocon doing? Where even is he? He's in 7th position. Good start, really, from Ocon. And how has he done that? How has Ocon done that? He was down in 14th place, I think, when he... at the start of the race. Yeah, he was down in 14th place. He started the race in 14th. He's up into 7th. Incredible, really, from him. Behrman as well. Both Hasses. They started the race, and Ferrari have come into the pits. Both drivers, they're double stacking. What are you doing, Ferrari? I mean, you don't have to, but sure. A quick pit stop for Leclerc, and now they're ready for Lewis Hamilton as well. Brilliant. Okay. So quick pit stops for both drivers. They're both out on medium tyres. So Ferrari definitely on a 2-stop race here. So if they've done 16 laps on or 17 laps on medium tyres, then they're going to do another 17 laps on medium tyres. That'll take them to lap 34, and then they'll do the final remaining stint on a set of hards. I think that is the strategy for Ferrari. Did Hamilton lose time? I don't think so. Both drivers had a fairly quick pit stop, and nobody had any issues there. Right, Verstappen, mate, I'm just no tyre grip at all. That's what Verstappen has said. We've just got the message over the race control. We already know this, but I'll just reiterate. Lando Norris did get a 5-second time penalty for starting out of his grid box, and now he served that time penalty in the pit in his pit stop. So right now he is fighting for position. He's in 3rd place, still in a net 3rd place after his 5-second penalty, and he is going to be starting. To close up on George Russell sooner rather than later. The gap between Russell and Piastri was 2 seconds. After the pit stops, it's now up to 3. I don't think Piastri's slowing down. However, Lando Norris, he is catching up. There was an unsafe release here for Oliver Behrman in the pit lane. That was a little bit close, but we'll see if he gets a penalty or if it's just a fine. And... was the double pit strategy a good idea? Seems a little unnecessarily risky. Yeah, but it worked out for them, so it's not the end of the world. I think the aim was really for Hamilton to get out ahead of Tsunoda. It hasn't worked out. He's 3/10 behind now. I think he'll get the overtake done, in fact, coming down the main straight. So let's just keep an eye out on that. They come out of the final corner, does Yuki Tsunoda and Lewis Hamilton. Hamilton is right on his tail. Leclerc purple in the final sector. Hamilton opens that DRS flap wide open and pulls to the inside on turn number 1, and that overtake is so easily done. It was not even a fight. Hamilton gets the overtake done on Tsunoda into turn number 1, up into 10th position for Lewis Hamilton. Alright, so this is it, ladies and gents. Everyone has done their first pit stop. Everyone is on a fairly level playing field, and let's have a look at who's gained the most positions, who's gained the least positions, or who's lost the most positions, actually. So Esteban Ocon has gained 8 places. Simply lovely from Esteban Ocon. Simply lovely. I don't know how he's done that. I haven't really even been paying attention. He started the race in 14th place, up into 6th. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant from him. Oliver Behrman, similar story. Started dead last, up into 14th place. So good job there from him. As of drivers that have lost the most places, Sainz has lost 4 places off the race start. Antonelli has lost 3 places off the race start. A little bit unfortunate for them. Antonelli could have got a podium this weekend if he managed to have a good race start, but unfortunately he's back down into 8th, and it's not looking all that great for him. Hamilton purple in the first sector, of course, after getting that huge tow from Yuki Tsunoda going into turn number 1. Okay, so here we are, lap number 20 of 57, and Antonelli is right on the back here of Max Verstappen, of course. Kimi Antonelli, the youngest driver on the grid, racing against the former youngest driver on the grid, Max Verstappen. Let's see how these two drivers fight into turn number 1. Antonelli is gaining, he's gaining, he looks to the inside of Max Verstappen, and Max Verstappen moves very late. Antonelli, though, going for the switchback into towards turn number 2. He loses the car a little bit over the curbs, takes a bit too much curb there, but still, the traction is strong from that Mercedes. The DRS is wide open. Up the hill they go towards turn number 4. Verstappen goes defensive. Antonelli to the outside line. He tries to switch back into turn number 4. Will Verstappen be able to cover him off? No, he won't. Antonelli, on those medium tyres, gets the overtake done on Max Verstappen, and it is bad news here for the Red Bull team. What is going on? Their downfall has to be studied, because they were previously the fastest team on the grid 1 year ago. A total domination, winning the race by 30 seconds, and here they are now down in 8th and 11th position. What has happened there? Lewis Hamilton with the fastest lap of the race, simply lovely. Let's go and add one more to the counter there for Lewis Hamilton, and a 1:36.7, very quick indeed there for Lewis, and we'll wait and see if he can hold on to that pace and maybe catch up to Doohan. And if he can overtake Doohan, then he's got Verstappen next up on the overtaking list, which will be fantastic. I would love to see a nice little squabble between Verstappen and Hamilton. It's always great to see. All right. Verstappen's on Antonelli's tail, Jack Doohan is on Verstappen's tail, and Hamilton is within DRS of Doohan. Here we go, ladies and gents. We've got another battle brewing for 8th position. Not the most exciting of positions, really, but if we keep our eyes peeled at the top, Lando Norris, he's in 3rd place, 1.3 seconds back from George Russell. George Russell is getting... The gap to him and Piastri is getting bigger and bigger. It was 2 seconds after the pits. The last time I mentioned it was 3 seconds. Now it's 4 seconds. But Lando Norris, slowly but surely, is closing up to his fellow British driver. And we're going to have a battle for 2nd place. George Russell versus Lando Norris. This one's going to be interesting for sure. All right. And yeah, Hamilton versus Doohan versus Verstappen for 8th place. Let's wait and see what happens. But Verstappen, he's out on those hard tyres, and he is really struggling. You know, he was a bit of a wild card. He's the only driver on the grid that had 2 fresh sets of hards. And you know, as we saw in the first stint, tyre wear is super high. So you know, you would have thought Max Verstappen having 2 sets of hard, that's very advantageous. But no, the hard tyres just seem to have no grip whatsoever. Not particularly ideal, if I'm being honest here. All right. Incredible. We've got 44 48,000 people watching the live stream here. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Be sure to hit the like button as well, ladies and gents. It'd very much be appreciated if we can make our way towards 143k subs today. 144 if if you're Lewis Hamilton fans, then it would be 44, of course, his race number. All right, we've got Hamilton. He's right on Doohan's tail here. 4 tenths is the gap as they go towards the final corner. Hamilton is getting so close. He could get an overtake done into the final corner, but he doesn't do that. He just moves a little bit to the side to spook Jack Doohan. It's a little bit of a scary thing, a scarlet Ferrari in your mirrors. Lewis Hamilton driving it. The DRS is wide open. Jack Doohan has DRS on Max Verstappen ahead of him. This is the only thing that is saving him right now. But will it still be enough? Doohan goes defensive. Hamilton so late on the brakes. Oh my goodness me, into turn number 1. What a move. And Jack Doohan, he's going to try and fight this one back up the hill. They go. And Jack Doohan has a switchback. Does he have the DRS? Yes, he does. He's gaining on Hamilton. He pulls to the inside line, but it's just not enough there for Jack Doohan. And Hamilton has sealed the deal into 9th place. And look at that. Who's up ahead of him? He's got that huge Red Bull rear wing right up ahead. And we're going to see a Max Verstappen versus Lewis Hamilton special in 1 lap's time here. All right, we've got Oliver Behrman battling away with Isaac Hadjar down in 13th and 14th place, and some really good battling here. Hadjar going very defensive against Behrman, but Behrman managing to just sweep it around the outside. Sensational driving from Behrman, and he manages to keep it within track limits as well. Turn number 4, hot spot for overtaking today. And Hamilton, oh my god, can he get the overtake done into 11? Yes, he can, and that car is sparking away. Fingers crossed that car is not going to get disqualified for plank wear. But Hamilton was sparking away as he was going down that back straight, and well, he gets the overtake done on Max Verstappen in a matter of 5 corners. Incredible. Okay, wow. Oscar Piastri, he improves on his previous lap time, and finally the drivers are actually improving on their personal bests rather than being slower than them. And Piastri's picked up the pace, and he's trying to extend that gap. The last time I mentioned it, 4 seconds. It's now 5 seconds. Piastri is having a field day with this one. All right. Black and white flag here for Isaac Hadjar for track limits, so he's going to have to be careful. He gets another black, and Antonelli as well, 2 rookies with black and white flags. If they exceed track limits one more time, they will get a 5-second time penalty, which would, definitely going to affect Antonelli, because if he gets a 5-second time penalty, he loses a lot of positions in this race. Verstappen just comes over the radio saying, I can't even brake anymore. It's just ridiculous. The brake issues that he had yesterday are still plaguing him today, even after they replaced the whole brake assembly, the brake pads, the brake calipers, the whole thing. They changed everything out overnight after the qualifying session, but still Verstappen is having brake issues. I don't know what is going on. Bahrain is a very tough circuit on the brakes, but we've never seen this level of issues from the Red Bull before. All right. I mean, he could potentially get a brake failure. We have no idea, really. He's having brake issues. I'm guessing that sort of correlates with brake failures. We'll just have to wait and see. Who do you think will win? I mean, Piastri's got that 5-second lead up at the front. It would be tough to say it would be anyone else at this current moment in time, but we've still got half a race left to go, and there's still a chance for some safety cars. All right. Also, ladies and gents, I just want to ask, is a Grand Slam where a driver gets pole position, leads every single lap, and then also gets the fastest lap, or do they have to lead every single lap? Because Piastri technically hasn't led every single lap. He's been the net lead, but I don't actually know how that fully works. Well, I did know how it fully works. I forgot. Piastri though, track limits extension at turn number 11. He's got to be careful here. Okay, they've got to lead every single lap. Okay, fair enough. So Piastri can't get a Grand Slam here. He has been technically in the net lead, but that doesn't count because Leclerc and Hamilton were previously leading the race when he came into the pits. All right, Leclerc's on DRS range here on Lando Norris, and he tries a fantastic move into turn number 1, just a little bit too far back here. Leclerc catching up to the back of Norris, and this is round number 2 here. Look at this, Leclerc, he's on the fresher tyres by about 7 laps. 7 laps of tyre wear on the medium tyres is around 7/10 worth of lap time. 7/10 worth of lap time. Per every single lap you drive, you lose 1/10 of pace on those medium tyres. So Leclerc has got 7/10 of a second quicker laps tyres than Norris has. And we're going to see a very good battle between these drivers. All right, Hamilton getting up to the back of Antonelli here. Antonelli is going to be under pressure from Hamilton, and we'll see what he can do. Both Ferraris now, they're on the alternate strategy. The strategy seems to have worked out well here from Charles Leclerc. I don't know if it was Charles Leclerc's strategy or if it was Ferrari's strategy, but nonetheless, they're making some solid progress here. Leclerc was super late on the brakes, sent a dive bomb down the inside, and I think he just misjudged his braking point, to be honest. Now going towards turn number 1, he's got the DRS, he's got the slipstream, he pulls out to the left-hand side, and can he get the overtake done? Not into turn number 1, but he's setting up this overtake. He gets a great exit out of turn number 1 and 2. He's tucked right behind that rear wing of the McLaren. Lando Norris hasn't got DRS. Charles Leclerc has, and into turn number 4 they go. Charles Leclerc, great move, and that is the deal sealed. Third place for Charles Leclerc. Lando Norris was on a brilliant recovery drive, had a fantastic race start even after the penalty, but now he's up into now he's down into 4th place, unfortunately. Okay, I'm going to have a very quick sip of water, ladies and gents, but we've had a fantastic Bahrain Grand Prix so far, and we've still got some more overtaking action left to go. We've got another pit stop window coming through. Oh, sorry, Hamilton also get the overtake done on Antonelli. They weren't broadcasting it, but I totally missed that. And Hamilton's got ahead of Antonelli, the driver that replaced him at Mercedes, and next up on his overtaking list is Esteban Ocon. The Ferraris are making solid progress, and yeah, Leclerc's done a good job getting ahead of Norris, and now he's going to catch up to Russell as well. He's got 4-lap fresher tyres compared to Russell, so the tyre advantage is not going to be as big as it was with Norris, but still, he does have a tyre advantage, and he's going to maximise that in every which way is possible. All right. Okay. So here they go then. We're on lap number 26 of 57. Alonso's trying to attack Nico Hülkenberg. We've got Hamilton trying to attack Esteban Ocon. Here we go again, Lewis Hamilton into turn number 1. He's side by side with Esteban Ocon. He looks to the inside. He says thank you very much, and he gets that deal sealed. He gets ahead of that Ferrari-powered Haas, and he's up into 6th position is Lewis Hamilton. Oh my goodness me, making up some solid progress here is Lewis, and well, he's got to catch up Pierre Gasly now, who is 4.2 seconds up the road, but he has also got 7-lap fresher tyres, and we know how 7-lap fresher tyres worked for Charles Leclerc against Lando Norris, so let's see how it works for Lewis Hamilton against Pierre Gasly. Okie dokes. Also, folks, you should not be getting any adverts. Hopefully, I've blocked all of the adverts from YouTube's side. So if you guys are getting any adverts, apologies for that. I'm doing my best that you don't get any adverts. You know, because if I'm commentating an overtake here and then you get an advert about some random car insurance, that would not be ideal. So hopefully, you guys don't get any more ads. Okay, we've got Oscar Piastri here. He's 6 seconds ahead of George Russell, but that doesn't matter. Look at this battle. We've got Russell versus Leclerc versus Norris. Norris just fell off the back a little bit, but Charles Leclerc is catching up. On the previous lap, 0.6 of a second quicker than George Russell. Here we go. The Ferraris are on a charge, and they are making this very, very exciting. But Charles Leclerc as well. We're just watching the onboard here. Leclerc's head is bouncing everywhere, left, right, and centre. I have my fingers crossed. Please don't get skid wear, Ferraris. Please don't let your planks wear out too much, because you've had a fantastic race so far, and it would be a shame if you guys get your race get disqualified. So yeah. Verstappen into the pits now. He's got 31 laps left to go. He's got a set of medium tyres available to him. He's got a set of hard tyres available to him. What is he going to do? I suspect he's going to pit on a set of hard tyres and try to go to the end of this race. Oh no, he's got a set of mediums. What are they doing here? Interesting. I guess he just feels like he's got no grip. Oh, his front right tyre just isn't coming off. Oh, and a slow pit stop for Verstappen, and he's getting 6.2 seconds for Verstappen. He had a 4.7 second pit stop in his first pit stop. Now 6.2 seconds. What has gone on with the Red Bull crew? Their car has gone downhill. Their pit stops have gone downhill, and abysmal. He comes out in dead last. Max Verstappen in dead last. What can change in a year? Max Verstappen led the Bahrain Grand Prix last year by 30 seconds and absolutely dominated. And here we are 1 year on. He is in 20th place. Oh my goodness me. Wow. how the times have changed. And some of you here might be thinking, oh, this is so easy. McLaren have got the Constructors' Championship sealed in the bag. Lando Norris or Piastri are going to win the championship. That's it, game over. But look at how quickly things can change in the world of Formula One, in the world where margins of 10 centimeters can make up the difference between 3 positions. Then who knows what happens in the next 20 races that we've got left in this season. Charles Leclerc on the previous lap, he's caught up to George Russell. 1.4 seconds is the gap there. Antonelli and Ocon come into the pits as well. Verstappen with the purple on the medium tyres. Immediately he gets ahead of Bortoletto. He's not messing around here. He's on a fresh set of mediums. He gets ahead of Bortoletto instantly. And I suspect I'm going to have to get the fastest lap counter ready and get Max Verstappen up onto the leaderboard as well. Hulkenberg across the into the pits. He goes and. Yeah, purple third sector there for Max as well. Max Verstappen, I don't know why he's doing purple sector. I mean, admittedly, he's got to drive quickly, but he's also got 30 laps left to do on these tyres. So I don't know how that's going to work out for him. But yeah, Ocon and Hulkenberg make their way out onto the circuit, and it is 4 wide, not 4 wide, 2 by 2 as the drivers go towards turn number 4. Some very good battling here. Okay. Antonelli just right on the tail here of Stroll, and we'll see what Antonelli can do. Antonelli is on a fresh set of soft tyres. What is it? Surely this is a mistake. He's not on a set of soft tyres. Wait, let me just get a replay coming through here. Surely this is a mistake. What have they done? Let me rewind a little bit. Can you please show me what tyres Antonelli is on? Oh no, Antonelli is on the softs. So you've just got to see the radio message here from Esteban Ocon, and they've just told him Antonelli's on the softs. Why have they done that? They could only do 15 laps on the soft tyres at the start of the race. How is he going to do 30 laps on the soft tyres towards the end? What? It makes no sense whatsoever. I mean, if he can pull it off, then, all power to him, but I don't know if that's going to be possible. Also, ladies and gents, we're here, 51.8k viewers. We have once again broken a record for the channel. This is the 3rd stream this weekend we have broken a record. In FP3, we had the most number of viewers in a practice stream the channel's ever had. In qualifying, we had the most number of viewers in a qualifying stream that the channel has ever had. And today, we've got the most number of viewers on a race that we've ever had. 51.8k viewers. That is incredible. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Hope you're all enjoying the coverage, and I think it's a fantastic way to celebrate the 5-year anniversary of this channel. 5 years ago in lockdown I started this off, and 5 years later here I am commentating to a football stadium full worth of people. It is simply incredible. We've reached the halfway point of this race. We've just had both Alpines come into the pits, and we're on lap number 29 of 57. Halfway, here we go. Oh, it's the pit stop. It's the Red Bull pit stop lights that were the issues. Some issues with the Red Bull pit stop lights. Not really sure what's going on there. They'll release a statement after the race is finished about what the exact issue was, but it's not ideal. Yuki Tsunoda's doing a half decent job there, battling against Carlos Sainz. We'll see if he can hold him off for much longer. Sainz has got the slightly fresher tyres, which might help him out. All right, and honestly, we're going on to break the record here. We've gone from 51.8 to now 52.2, and I think we're just going to go upwards from here. Norris has come over the radio. Why is the red light on? I don't know why it's on. I can't turn it off. And then they say, stand by, we're investigating. So some sort of issue on Norris's steering wheel, but he's still only 2 seconds off the back of Leclerc, so he hasn't lost that much lap time. Thank you, Sarah, for joining the channel members. Very much is appreciated. We're up to now 50 channel members, I think, which is incredible. Yeah, thank you everyone for being a channel member. Thank you everyone that's donated on Patreon and on Buy Me a Coffee. There's links for that in the description if you'd like to. But yeah, huge help to the channel. We've got professional audio equipment, good streaming laptop as well. It's incredible. So thank you everyone for all of the support these past 5 years. From my first subscriber that was called Surprised Pikachu Face to here we are with more subscribers than I can count. Max Verstappen with another fastest lap. Let me increase that on the counter there. No, 2 fastest laps for Max Verstappen. In fact, nobody else has gone and done more fastest laps than Verstappen. Verstappen's done 2 fastest laps here. I don't know what Antonelli's going to do though. He's on a set of soft tyres. How is he going to get to the end of this race? Okay, Norris has just come over the radio saying the red light has gone off now. So something strange going on there with Lando Norris' steering wheel. And I suspect that's to do with the power unit. I don't really know what the red light is going to be compared to anything else. So I'm not sure what's going on there, but Tsunoda battling fantastically with Sainz. He had a great switchback maneuver. Sainz just closed the door on him ever so slightly, and that caused him to, drop down into 7th. However, he's not giving up so easily. He comes out the final corner. Here comes Yuki Tsunoda. Can he get the overtake done on Carlos Sainz on this occasion? They head down the main straight. DRS wide open for Yuki Tsunoda, who's in that Honda power unit car, and the Honda engine, the VTEC, has kicked in, and he is screaming away. Look at that, to the inside he goes, and what a move from Yuki Tsunoda. Side by side are the two drivers. Who's going to get ahead? Oh, it's close. Sainz just manages to hold on, but once again, up the hill towards turn number 4. What is going on here? I don't know what's going on with Norris, sorry. Maybe that's related to his red light. I'm not sure, but I don't know what's going on with Norris on the track map there. And Sainz just manages to hold it against Tsunoda. It's so close. But Sainz doing a brilliant defensive job, and honestly, he's helping out his teammate here. He's been holding up Tsunoda so much that Alex Albon has arrived at the scene, and now it's 2 Williams versus 1 Red Bull. And we've got Kimi Antonelli looking to overtake Esteban Ocon. To the inside he goes. Overtake done there for Kimi Antonelli. Sorry, he got ahead of Alonso. Now he's looking to get ahead of Ocon. All right. I don't know what's glitching around with the Lando Norris's car, but it seems to be fine as of now. Gap up at the front, Leclerc to Russell, 1.3 seconds is the gap. The 4-lap tyre advantage that Leclerc has really isn't all that big anymore. If it was, say, a 7-lap tyre advantage, that would be huge, and that would help him out to close the gap. But 4-lap tyre advantage, I don't think is enough. So We'll see. As on the latter stage of this stint, as the tyres wear out more and more, there is a chance that Charles Leclerc will be able to close up. Just let's wait and see. Is this a live stream record for your channel? Indeed it is. 53,000 people on the stream. That is incredible. If you haven't hit the like button, ladies and gents, be sure to do that as well. The record for number of likes that we've ever had on a stream is 11,000. So in fact, let's set the like goal to 11,000 and let's see if we can hit that. We've already hit our subscriber target, which is incredible. So I guess I can put that to 145k. We're breaking records left, right and centre here. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and I hope you guys are enjoying the commentary. I'd like to think in the previous 5 years my commentary's got a little bit better. Charles Leclerc 1.015. He's within DRS range. Virtual safety car deployed. What's that for? Who's deployed the safety car? What? Nobody's going slowly. Safety car is out on the track. Just as Leclerc got within DRS range, the safety car comes out. What's going on here, ladies and gentlemen? I can see no reason why the safety car is out on the track. Everyone's driving around at normal speed. This is perfect for the drivers that have just come into the pits. They're not going to have to pit on the safety car. Of course, anyone that hasn't pit yet will be coming into the pits. Piastri goes into the pit lane. So does Russell. What's going on here? What? I mean, Antonelli was out on the soft tyres. He's going to get a free pit stop as well. It's almost like they knew what was going on. I mean, I'm not accusing anyone, but why is the safety car out? It says track surface slippery, sector number 3. Okay, I think it's not sector number 3 is in the 3rd sector on the track. It means the 3rd Marshall sector, which means probably around turn number 1. But I don't know. Pit stop for Oscar Piastri, 2.9 seconds for him. Everyone's diving into the pit lanes here, ladies and gentlemen. It's medium tyres for Piastri, soft tyres for George Russell. Oh my god. We've just had a donation. Thanks for the donation, Kobe Collects. Thanks for the $2 donation. I guess there's debris on the circuit, and that's what's caused it. But Russell's out here on the mediums. Leclerc's on the hards. Ferrari, what are you doing? You've got what? I can't even start to describe what's going on here. You've got 25 laps left of this race. I know you don't have another set of mediums, but the hard tyres, really, the ones that Verstappen couldn't even switch on to drive around. Okay, Norris is out on the medium tyres. Hamilton out on the hards. Gasly is continuing on, I think. Gasly continues on. Ocon continues on. So does Verstappen. Sainz is out onto the hard tyres after his pit stop. Jack Doohan just sneaks out ahead of him. Then we've got, oh my god, everyone's into the pits. Right, let me run through everyone else. Tsunoda comes out on a set of medium tyres. Behrman's out on Tsunoda's out on softs. Behrman's out on softs. Albon's out on mediums. Antonelli's out on another set of soft tyres. Alonso's out on hards. Hadjar's out. Hadjar continues on hard tyres. Hulkenberg continues on medium tyres. Lawson out on fresh sets of softs. Stroll out on fresh sets of hard. And Bortoletto out on a fresh set of hards as well. What's going on here? I mean, firstly, why was this safety car deployed? I still don't know. Like, there would have been a tiny bit of debris, but they can normally clean that up with a virtual safety car. Anyway, I'm not going to complain here. I am not going to complain. We've got 25 laps left to go. With a safety car restart, we're going to have so much overtaking. Okay. Here we go here. Oh, this is going to be brilliant. We've got 25 laps left of this race. Hamilton's come over the radio saying, great job with the stops, guys. Great job. And Hamilton's obviously very pleased with this. He started the race down in 9th position. Up into 5th place he is. Now let's see how this hard tyres fare. They're going to have a lot of time to warm them up. Left, right, weaving, braking, turning on, getting those brakes very hot, warming the tyres up from the inside. They're going to try every single trick in the book to hopefully switch on these hard tyres and have a shot of going to the end of this race. Russell is going to struggle for those soft. I mean, it depends how many laps the safety car stays out for. But I suspect, since it wasn't a big crash or anything, it's probably going to be a couple of laps at most, and he's going to have a lot of laps to do on those soft tyres. So we'll see how he manages that. The medium tyre runners are going to be A-okay to go to the end of this race. But yeah, and the hard tyre runners are probably they can push maximum attack. Issam, thank you for the donation. Your commentary much better than Sky. Well, I'll take that as a compliment. Hopefully I'm not as biased as Sky. But it looks like there's a little bit of debris. Maybe there was some collision between Stroll and Hadjar or something. And maybe there was debris that caused it, but yeah. All right, ladies and gents, I'm going to take you through an onboard of the circuit here. I'm going to show you where all of the overtaking opportunities are on this track. And yeah, so we've just got an onboard here on the right-hand side of the screen. While we're under safety car conditions, I thought I might as well show you the onboard. So here we go then. Right, so into turn number 1, amazing overtaking opportunity here. But if you can get a switchback, you go up the hill, drive all over these curbs, open the DRS, and then you can either dart to the inside and go late on the brakes and hold it ahead of your rival, or you take the switchback line, you pinch them on the inside, on the apex, and then you say, thank you very much, I'll take that position into turn number 5, where you seal the deal. This is the place where you seal your overtakes. And then going into turn number 9 and 10, there is still some chances here. We saw Alonso overtake Hamilton here in 2023, some very, very sneaky moves from Alonso, and if you can pull that off on fresher set of tyres, all power to you, but it's going to be a little bit tough. And then you get onto the power here, once again another DRS zone. We've seen a couple of overtakes happen here, but they only really happen if you have a big tyre advantage. For example, if you're on soft tyres and the driver ahead of you is on hard tyres. Then you go up the hill towards turn number 12. You're pretty much single file through here, and here you need to get a late apex, because if you get a late apex, you can get a good exit onto this straight, which means you can close the gap towards the final corner. And if you can close the gap to the final corner, you can get a good exit onto the start-finish straight. And here you got to hit that apex. Don't drive over it, because it unsettles the car a little bit. And you go onto the power and open the DRS and hopefully overtake your rival into turn number 1. All right, so that's a lap of the Bahrain Grand Prix. I shall do a lap up. I should do a sort of an update for anyone that's listening to this commentary as a radio. I know a lot of people do. So we've got Piastri in first place, Russell in second, Leclerc third, then Norris, then Hamilton in fifth, Gasly in sixth, Ocon seventh, Verstappen 8th, Doohan 9th, Sainz 10th, Tsunoda 11th, Behrman 12th, Albon 13th, Antonelli 14th, Alonso 15th, Hadjar 16th, 17th for Hulkenberg, 18th for Lawson, 19th for Stroll, and 20th for Bortoletto. Safety car is in this lap, ladies and gentlemen. Safety car is in this lap. Safety car is due to debris at turn number 3 with Tsunoda. That's fair enough. Russell went onto softs with 20 laps left to go, because he doesn't have any extra set of mediums. Russell only had one fresh set of medium tyres. He used that up already, so it was either the hard tyres or the soft tyres, and he decided to go with the soft tyres. 23 laps left of this race, and we're going to have a fantastic end to this race. Tygo Neres, thank you for the donation. First time here, awesome commentary, new fan. Well, glad that you enjoy. Glad that you do enjoy the coverage. All right, so let's look at the biggest gainers here. We've got Esteban Ocon, 7 positions gain. Honestly, just for that, I'm going to give him my driver of the day. Let me know who your driver of the day is, who you think it should be. But I think Esteban Ocon, sensational drive. Hamilton as well made some solid progress. Wait, what's going on here? Why is Russell dropping down the back? Has Russell had an issue? Wait. I don't know if this is actually happening or if it's a glitch in the data. It's a glitch in the data. See, this happens. It happened on the start of the race as well. Shush, thank you for channel member. Very much appreciated. I don't know why this happens, but sometimes the driver in second or third place, their GPS just switches off and then they go right to the back of the pack and then they obviously jump back up again. But yeah, it's a little issue with the GPS. It's not 100% accurate all the time. Apologies for that. But here we are, ladies and gentlemen, at the Bahrain Grand Prix circuit. We have the safety car in this lap. We are on lap number 35 of 57. 23 laps left to go. The track is clear. The green flag is waving. It is all down on the shoulders of Oscar Piastri to lead this race start. Here he comes out of the final corner. What's it going to be? George Russell is side by side with him. He's raring to go. And as Oscar Piastri gets onto the power, can he get that overtake done into turn number 1? Let's wait and see. Oscar Piastri leads the way it's close into turn number 1, but Russell just stays ahead. Russell just stays behind, by the finest of margins. However, Hamilton, what a move on Lando Norris, caught him napping. 3rd place for Lewis Hamilton. Brilliant. Oh my goodness me. Okay. All right, so here we go then, and Hamilton and Norris gets him back, does he? Into turn number 4 they go, and yeah, Norris just manages to get back ahead into turn number 4. A sensational move there from Lando Norris, and as they now go towards turn number 10 and 11, this is the only chance George Russell has got. He's got to throw absolutely everything at it. He's on the fresher tyres, he's got the quicker tyres as well, and now this is his only chance. Can he get ahead of George? Can he stay within DRS of Piastri? And if he can stay within DRS, can he get ahead? What's happening to Antonelli? Antonelli down to 14th. I think that's an actual... I think Antonelli's actually dropped down to 14th. I think that's not a GPS mistake. He's actually lost all of those places, I think. Not ideal there for Antonelli. I don't know what's happened there. Hamilton said that Lando overtook him off the track, and that's why he gave him back the position. Leclerc doesn't get ahead of Russell. Russell is still A-OK. The GPS is just having a field day with itself. All right, fastest lap of the race here from Oscar Piastri. Let me just add that up onto the counter. But looking very, very racy indeed. And look at this. George Russell is within DRS range. DRS has been enabled, ladies and gentlemen. This is it. George Russell versus Oscar Piastri for the lead of the race here in 2025 at Bahrain. Ooh, this one's going to be spicy. Who do you think it's going to be? Who do you think is going to get that lead? Who do you think is going to get the win? Is it going to be George Russell? Is it going to be Oscar Piastri? Will Russell overtake him? Then a couple of laps later, Piastri will re-overtake him when George's soft tyres wear out. We'll just have to wait and see. Okay, Norris is looking extremely racy here, trying to get ahead of Lewis Hamilton, but it's looking to be a tough time here. Hamilton doing a good job defending. Oh, and Piastri, look at that. He's broken the DRS already. 1.2 seconds is the gap. Russell no longer has DRS coming down the back straight towards turn number 11. And Piastri's done a solid job of breaking the DRS. I mean, no fun there from Piastri. Total domination, really. But, that's his job, isn't it? And it's George Russell's job. He's on the soft tyres. Come on, George. Pick up the pace, mate. Oh, and Antonelli lost a bunch of places because Carlos Sainz tried to go down the inside at turn number 10 on the safety car restart. When steaming down the inside, did not have enough pace, locked up, and then pushed Antonelli off, and that caused him to lose. A lot of places. So that's why Antonelli's dropped down quite a few places. Once again, the GPS is just glitching out. Thank you, unnamed A320 for the donation. GPS bug equals Titanfall phase dash in F1. I'm not exactly familiar with Titanfall, but Ladies and gents, Russell is not in 20th position. He's still in second place, as you can see on the track map. The GPS and the data is just broken. I have no idea why it's buggy. It's, I'm getting this from the Formula One servers, like the official Formula One servers, so I don't know why this is happening. He's not in 20th place. He's, as you can see, he's right behind Piastri on the screen. If you just have a look over here, yeah. Sooner or later, it's going to fix itself, but for now Russell is apparently in 20th place. Norris got Lewis back. Indeed he did. Norris, he's on those medium tyres. The hard tyres look like they're not working out that well for the Ferrari team, and it looks like it's third place there for Lando Norris. He gets ahead of Lewis Hamilton. Next up on his overtaking list, Charles Leclerc. We'll see if he can get it done. Hamilton is not going to let this one go easy though. He's still going to fight it, and of course he's got to go up against his teammate as well. So yeah, see, George Russell, his GPS just switches off as he goes through the middle sector. You can see he's right there behind Piastri, but his GPS has ghosted or something, and that's why it says that he's in 20th place. Russell is still driving, ladies and gents. I don't know why his GPS is broken, but yeah, Russell, for weight reduction purposes, has dropped his GPS off in the pit box. There we go. Up into second place he goes as he comes across the line. Okay, apologies for the mistake. Apologies for the issues. Hamilton's come over the radio. He just says, "This tyre sucks." End of radio message. That's it. Fairly straightforward. And once again, here we go. Russell drops down the field as his GPS breaks. We're just going to have to live with this one, folks. George Russell got his GPS from wish.com, really. Okay. Anyway, here we are, lap number 39 of 57, and all eyes now, Lewis Hamilton versus Lando Norris. Hamilton is getting extremely close here. Max Verstappen is going to do his best to try and get ahead of Pierre Gasly, and there are so many overtakes going on here. Verstappen, in fact, under threat of getting overtaken by Yuki Tsunoda. No, not Yuki Tsunoda, Esteban Ocon. Actually, I'm just looking at the wrong Red Bull. It's Tsunoda that's about to get overtaken by Behrman. It's getting very, very close here at the bottom of the top 10. Hamilton still within DRS range of Norris, but not for long by the looks of it. I think Norris on those medium tyres is gonna drive away into the sunset. And some drivers, they have kind of just been compromised. Ferrari, their strategy was to go medium, and then probably soft at the end, but the safety car came out a little bit too early. Yeah, George Russell isn't in last place. He's just going to overtake 18 cars as soon as he comes across the start-finish line again, once his GPS inevitably fixes itself. We've got 56,000 people watching the stream. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. I apologise for these issues. Normally, we don't have them, but for whatever reason here at the Bahrain Grand Prix, Russell's GPS is broken, and there we go. Up into second place he goes. And I'm sure as soon as he'll start dropping down the field again, yeah. Russell's about to get a 5-second time penalty for his broken GPS. That's what's going to happen. Okay. Anyway, Max Verstappen, he's looking to catch up here to Pierre Gasly. We'll see what he can do. We've got 18 laps left of this race, and it's going to be interesting here. The drivers on the soft tyres, the drivers on the medium tyres, drivers on the hard tyres. Sooner or later, the soft tyres are going to wear out. The tyres that Tsunoda, Behrman, Antonelli are all on, they're not going to be able to survive another 18 laps of driving around this super high tyre degradation circuit. So, yeah, I really don't know what's going on there. And how they're going to manage these tyres, because they could really be risking puncture at that point. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens with those drivers. The medium tyres should be fine to get to the end of the race, but sooner or later the hard tyres are going to finally pick up the pace, and they're going to have a little bit more grip than the mediums, but who knows. Even on the real F1 Live, there's a GPS problem. It's not just you. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. The actual F1 coverage, like Sky Sports, F1 TV, they're having the GPS issue. It's not like a thing with my commentary or data or anything like that. George Russell's GPS is actually just broken. As an electronics technical engineer, I can tell you there's a loose connector that jostles on a bump on the road. Yeah, it's just going to get worse. Yeah, Russell's, that's probably a very reasonable explanation. Thanks, Exoteric. But yeah, there's a loose connector somewhere. He's driving around as he goes, driving around on a bumpy circuit, and the connector probably shook itself apart. All right, I'm going to have a quick sip of water, and yeah, let's wait and see what happens at the end of this race. Yeah, Yeah, also, I am sponsored by F1 TV, as you guys can see here. If you guys are interested in getting F1 TV, the link is in the description for all of the coverage, all of the onboards, the team radios, everything that you could want about Formula One. It's available with F1 TV Pro, so there's a link in the description if you guys want to check that out. Yeah, Russell's going to have the overtake. Russell's going to have the most overtakes award, isn't he? Because he's just Lawson has been given a 5-second time penalty for causing a collision. So I think that might have been because there was a tangle between Lawson and Alonso, I think, or Lawson and Stroll that brought out the safety car. So that might be it. But Lawson, regardless, has been given a 5-second time penalty for causing a collision. Not ideal there for the rookie. Of course, he's now had the best of seasons. Really started out at Red Bull, has been demoted after 3 races, and then down with another 5-second time penalty, and he's also outside of the points. Right. Okay, up at the front though, the gaps have kind of just spread themselves out. Leclerc, he's 3.5 seconds back off Piastri. Once Russell comes across the line, we'll look at the gap between him. Hamilton over the radio, the car won't turn. These radio messages seem very similar to what Verstappen was saying, and you can't really blame them, can you? The hard tyre just doesn't really have much grip around this circuit, and for whatever reason, Ferrari thought it was a good idea. I mean, that's exactly what I said. Once he came out of the pits on the hard tires, I was like, "What's going on here? They're not going to switch them on." And as predicted, Ferrari strategy does Ferrari strategy, and they could have been they could have got a third, fourth. They might still be able to hang on to 3-5, but yeah, they could have got even closer. Really, who knows? Okay. Wow, 35,000 people tuning into live stream. That is incredible. Thanks everyone for tuning in, by the way. I hope to see you guys for the next stream in Saudi Arabia. We're going to have an even more fantastic race there. Of course, we've got loads of DRS zones, loads of overtaking opportunities in Saudi Arabia. And I think a 2-stop race as well is on the cards. So let's wait and see if that can be done. We're getting pretty close to our like target, pretty close to our subscriber target as well. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, be sure to do so. Hopefully we can make our way towards 145k subs, and if our record number of likes on a stream is 11,000, so we're getting pretty close to that target if you guys haven't hit the like button already. Russell's GPS looks to have fixed itself by the looks of it. Yeah, or the timing, yeah, it looks to have fixed itself. So looking good so far, unless all of the data has just frozen itself. The timings have the timings have slightly stopped. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but the timings normally update probably about 10 times per lap. They only now update when they cross the start finish line, I think, because the FIA have messed something up. Oh well. Typical FIA moment. Still, we've got the data coming through. We just don't have Russell's sector times because his GPS isn't working. Anyway, let's continue on. Let's continue on with the commentary. Let's not get too bothered with the GPS breaking and things like that. Currently, I think we're also the biggest live stream on YouTube. We've got more people watching this stream than watching Coachella and any other stream on YouTube, for that matter. So thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Hope you guys are enjoying. Or we're on the biggest live stream on YouTube as of right now. Incredible. Okay, Lando Norris, looks like he's got DRS. Norris has got DRS here on Charles Leclerc. He's catching up to him, and let's wait and see now. What can he do? Are we going to get a battle brewing between Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri? Lando Norris and Charles Leclerc. I don't know why I said Oscar Piastri. But yeah, Lando Norris catching up. Of course, those hard tyres, as Hamilton was saying, they're not working particularly well. Charles Leclerc suffering with the same issues. So Norris is catching up now. Let's wait and see what he can do. Okay. Looks like Russell's GPS is getting better. Norris, though, he's gaining here on Charles Leclerc, and He's not close enough on this occasion. A 10-second penalty for Carlos Sainz for forcing another driver off the track. This was the occasion on the safety car restart. He drove into Kimi Antonelli, causing Antonelli to lose about 4 places, and he's been given a 10-second time penalty there for Carlos Sainz. Very, very unfortunate. That's going to lose him a couple of places once the race finishes. Not ideal there for the Williams driver. Okay. Let's wait and see what happens. Hard is the only logical choice. I mean, yeah, this was the thing. Is you could have gone onto the soft tyres on the safety car. George Russell did go onto the soft tyres on the race safety car, and, it's going well for him. They could have picked the soft tyres as well, but they could have picked the hard tyres or soft tyres. They knew from Verstappen's radio messages that the hard tyres aren't working well, so it would have made sense to go onto the softs, but who knows? It's a Ferrari strategy after all. And here comes Lando Norris now. He's getting very, very close to overtaking Charles Leclerc. And I have a feeling going into turn number 1 on this lap, he's going to have a very, very good chance of getting past him. We're on 999 likes. At least on my other laptop, it's telling me we're on 999 likes. Oh, there we go. Yeah, 999 likes. Incredible. Okay, we're making our way very close to our like target and subscriber target. Here comes Lando Norris then down the main straight towards turn number 1. The DRS flap is wide open for Lando Norris. He doesn't get the overtake done into turn number 1, but now he is setting up the overtake towards turn number 4. Charles Leclerc knows this, and he is looking in his wing mirrors to the left, to the right, up the hill they go. Norris has got the DRS. He's gaining. He pulls out to the right hand side, but he's a little bit too far back, even for a dive bomb. It would be a pointlessly risky, and Lando Norris sits back to fight for another day. Okay, 13 laps left of this race. Russell is going to have a tough time here managing these tyres, and this was the time when Leclerc is really meant to be catching up to Russell, not Leclerc. Now Leclerc's under threat from Norris behind him, but sooner or later Russell is going to catch away. Russell has stopped on the map. I don't know, is that a total GPS failure? I'll have to figure that out for you guys. I don't think Russell's just randomly come to a stop. I think his GPS has now totally failed. It was kind of broken before, now it's totally stopped. I'm just going to have to, communicate to you guys who has DRS and who doesn't. So give me a second. And, who's in which position. They're just not showing me on the Sky Sports coverage. I mean, it's typical Sky Sports, that's showing me what's going on. But Sainz has got a 10-place grid penalty, 10-second time penalty. He comes into the pits, he serves that 10-second time penalty, and he comes out of the pits very, very far behind. And just looking at the replay here, yeah, George Russell, he's still driving along, ladies and gents. Oh, Matteo, thank you for the donation here, 30,000 IDR. That is incredible, Matteo. Yeah, appreciate the donation. Thanks for helping out the channel, and yeah, very much do appreciate it. I mean, thanks to you guys, I've got this professional mic. It's actually the mic that they have on the International Space Station, the one that all the astronauts use, and yeah, one of the best mics the world has to offer, and it's all thanks to you guys that I can get it. So thank you very much. Oh, someone's gone deep into turn number 1. Who's that? Lando Norris locks his brakes into turn number 1 and loses a whole bunch of time. George Russell, I confirm, Russell is still in second place. He's still driving around. His GPS is broken. In fact, I'm just going to pin a message into the chat. All right. Russ has broken GPS. In fact, I can't even type on my laptop because my laptop has crashed. My other laptop that I'm reading chat on, because there are so many chat messages. Okay. Russell has broken GPS. Can someone pin that? Actually, I'm going to have to... Let's see, can I pin that? There we go. Okay, hopefully that's the right message that I pinned. Yeah, okay, there we go. Brilliant. Apologies for the little lapse in commentary. We'll continue on. So, yeah, Norris did make a bit of a mistake on that previous lap, and he's going to try and get onto the back of Leclerc. But Leclerc's now, he's going to try and catch up to Russell, and we'll see what he can do. They've said box to retire the car. Carlos Sainz has retired. Russell is just teleported off the map here, ladies and gentlemen. Incredible to see. We've hit our light goal, which is fantastic. I guess we shall break some more records. Let's put it up to 12,000. But thank you everyone for tuning in. And honestly, I'm very glad that we've got so many people enjoying the commentary today. And I will be doing the exact same commentary for the qualifying, for the races, for the practice sessions, for the rest of the season, and more specifically for the Saudi Arabia Grand Prix next weekend. Could we get a singular F in the chat here for Carlos Sainz? Very, very unfortunate that Sainz has retired out of this race. Yeah, he had a 10-second time penalty. He was already going to be right at the back of the pack. They've just decided that's the end of the day. We're not gonna drive around anymore, and that is the end of his race. Yeah, okay. So we have got. Look at this gap up here at the front. We don't even know where George Russell is on the map. I can't even show. I can't show you up on the map. I'm just going to have to describe it when he shows up on the screen. But thanks everyone for typing F in the chat. We know that. I think that's enough Fs. Just joined. What happened to Kimi? Kimi on the safety car restart. We had a safety car restart, and he got hit by Sainz, and that caused him to lose a lot of places. He was doing quite well, but he also had a bad race start as well. So a bad race start and then a bad safety car restart, and that's ended up with Kimi Antonelli out of the points as of this current moment. All right. All right, George Russell still in second place here, ladies and gents. Let's not believe any of this teleporting business on the GPS. Oh, Verstappen, lap time deleted there for exceeding track limits at turn number 13. He's not going to be pleased with that. Verstappen stuck behind Gasly here. Honestly, I've got to give props here to Pierre Gasly. He may not have gained the most positions like Esteban Ocon, but simply sensational driving there for Pierre Gasly on those hard tyres. They've not been the quickest tyres, but still managed to hold off Max Verstappen, and he's in an Alpine, for God's sake. Like, the Alpine is 15 horsepower down, and here we are at Bahrain, one of the most power-sensitive circuits on the track, and we have got, we've got Pierre Gasly holding that Alpine in 6th position. All right. What else have we got to talk about? Honestly, who would your driver of the day be? Would it be Gasly? Would it be Ocon? Maybe Hamilton. Hamilton's made some pretty solid progress as well. Behrman, look at that, up 10 places. He started the race in 20th position, up into 10th position. What a drive from Oliver Behrman. Yeah, incredible. Okay, we've got a black and white flag here for Jack Doohan. 3 rookies now, Hadjar, Antonelli, and Doohan. All 3 of them have been given black and white flags for track limits, so they're going to have to be careful there. And Lando Norris now, he is right on Charles Leclerc's tails. This is the closest he has ever been. As they come out of the final corner, will Lando Norris be able to overtake Charles Leclerc? Let's wait and see. He is gaining. He's got the DRS. He's got the slipstream. As they go down the main straight towards turn number 1, Lando Norris pulls out to the right-hand side, and Leclerc lets him get by on this occasion. Actually, Leclerc's so late on the brakes that it doesn't even matter. Oh my goodness me. Leclerc, what a defense from him. And now up the hill they go towards turn number 4. Who's going to have the advantage? Norris a little bit further back, and Leclerc has done some superb defensive driving, parking his car at the apex. Lando Norris has nowhere he can go. This is how you defend. This is how you defend from Charles Leclerc. Simply lovely. I guess some drivers, he did kind of push him off the circuit, maybe just a little bit, but okay. We'll see if the stewards have anything to say about that. I'm sure Norris is over the radio. Yeah, look, that was very clear. He pushed you off. I was all the way on the outside, fully alongside the apex. I was like wheel to wheel, front wheel to front wheel. So Norris immediately over the radio to complain, as expected, but here we are. We'll see what the stewards have got to say. Whereas Russell is in second place. His GPS is broken, so that's why he's not showing up on the map, but he's still hanging on to that second place. And Charles Leclerc has got Norris for company, and that's why he hasn't caught up to Russell. Otherwise, it would have been Russell versus Leclerc versus Norris for second place. But yeah, Norris caught him up a little bit before Leclerc caught up Russell, and now those two are squabbling away. Here we go then, into the turn number 1. Let's wait and see what they can do. Down the main straight they go. On this occasion, Norris a little bit further back. He has got the DRS. He's gaining and gaining as they go towards turn number 1. He's a little bit too far back though. He's going to reset, I think, on this lap. Charge up the battery a little bit. Get ready to deploy overtake going into the next lap. All right, into turn number 4 they go. Actually, Norris has got a pretty good run here. Will he be able to get ahead of Charles Leclerc? Into the braking zone they go. No. Leclerc manages to stay ahead into turn 4. Okay. Nicely done there from Charles Leclerc. What's Leclerc's gap to Russell? No idea. Nobody is saying anyone. Nobody is telling us the gaps. The FIA's timing system is broken. I mean, it's not the timing system for everyone. It's just Russell's GPS is broken, and because Russell's GPS is broken, it's screwed up the entire system, and that's why we have no idea. Oh, they've come over the radio. There's a chance we lose the dash. Just keep driving if that's normal. As long as the steering wheel doesn't fall off, replies George Russell. Okay, so Russell, it's not just his GPS. I think there's an issue with his car. His electronics is having a failure, and they've said, oh, the dash might switch off, so he won't even know which gear he's in. He's just going to have to do it by feel. He's going to have to feel the sort of the revs vibrate through him and the sound of the engine, and just shift on feel, because if the steering wheel light switch off, then that's what's going to happen, really. Alonso did have his steering wheel fall off in free practice here. It was a little bit strange, Alonso was complaining about oversteer and understeer. Thanks, Luke, for becoming a channel member. Very much is appreciated. But yes, Alonso was complaining about oversteer and understeer while in free practice, and then his steering wheel just came off, and I think that was fantastic innovation from the Aston Martin engineers. They just took the steering wheel off. You can't have understeer, you can't have oversteer if you have no steering wheel. Big brain thinking. They're playing 4D chess. If Adrian Newey hadn't joined Aston Martin, that wouldn't have happened, but since he has, they've been starting thinking outside the box, and it's pure innovation from Aston Martin. Just no steering wheel, so you can't have understeer and oversteer. Thankfully, they got that issue fixed, and Alonso's steering wheel isn't falling off anymore, and Russell's steering wheel shouldn't fall off, but there is a chance that his steering wheel does switch off. Okay, Sainz got a 10-second time penalty and ended up retiring the race because he would have ended up in last position. Anyway, will Russell survive on the softs? We'll have to wait and see. 7 laps left to go, and we'll just have to find out. According to the GPS, what's going on? Blue default 10. Okay, do I need to change the brake lines? Concentrate, it's back. Okay, so Russell actually might be having some issues here. Look at the team radio here on the right hand side. We've got some messages coming through to Russell which aren't particularly normal, so it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Electronics failure though, a bit of a strange one. We haven't seen that one happen before. All right. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in, by the way. I will be commentating for the Saudi Arabia Grand Prix next weekend as well. It's going to be a fantastic race. And, of course, we've had some sensational qualifying laps there in the past. Of course, we had that Max one from 2021, and I think we're going to have some sensational racing there as well. Huge DRS zones, huge squabbling in 2021. And with the field as close as it is right now, who knows what will happen. Here comes Lando Norris. He's fighting against Charles Leclerc, going into turn number 4. Ooh, here we go. Into turn number 4 they go. Can Norris swoop round the outside? Yes, he can, just by the finest of margins. I think he gets ahead. Does he get ahead? Oh, they're side by side into turn number 5, and it looks like Norris is the driver that just gets ahead of Charles Leclerc. What a move. Yeah, it was the margins were so close there, but Norris gets ahead. It hasn't updated on the screen. It'll update once they come across the start finish line, ladies and gents, but on the GPS you can see Norris is ahead of Charles Leclerc. There's a DRS infringement for George Russell that's been noted. I don't know what's going on there, but I think George Russell technically has DRS whenever he wants because his GPS is broken. Bit of an odd glitch, but I guess it's helping him out. He's having some issues with his gear shifts as well, and now he's having more issues. He's in second place. I mean, this would be a great load of points for George Russell if he can bring this home, but he's having gearbox issues. They're now telling him to change some more engine settings, P1, LP, just be driving, so the gears aren't syncing up properly. It's not looking good here for George Russell. He's got 5 laps left to go of this race. We're on lap number 53 of 57 of this race, and Piastri is comfortably in the lead, and Lando Norris up into 3rd place as he gets ahead of the Ferraris. It is 4th and 5th position for the Ferraris when it probably could have been 3rd and 4th, but alas, it is a Ferrari strategy after all. Not ideal. It's like we're in the 50s and the finish line and we only know what's happening when the car's going past. Indeed, yeah, the GPS is broken for Russell, so they can only update the lap times as the drivers go past the start finish straight. Oh my god, they're going to investigate Russell. DRS infringement will be investigated after the race. Okay, so this is my hypothesis. I'm not 100% certain here, but if Russell's GPS is broken, then what that means is the DRS system thinks that he's within 1 second of the driver ahead of him, which means that on his steering wheel, the DRS button will go green. It'll be like, oh, you can activate DRS. So Russell's like, sure, I can activate DRS. I'll just press the button and use it. Now, of course, he wasn't 1 second behind a driver ahead of him, so technically he shouldn't have been allowed to use a DRS, but that's happened maybe due to a DRS failure. This is just hypothesis, folks. Can't say this for certain, but I think that might be what happened. So I don't know how harsh of a penalty that's going to be. If at all he gets a penalty, I don't know. Norris has been given a black and white flags for track limits. If he exceeds track limits one more time, he will get a 5-second penalty and he'll lose the position to Charles Leclerc. So Lando Norris has got to be very, very careful here. Okay. Yeah, I mean, all of you Mercedes fans pray for George. Honestly, I mean, I'm rooting for the guy. He's on those soft tyres. He's done a brilliant job on those soft tyres, managing to drive them on for so many laps. And let's wait and see what happens. Leclerc was having DRS issues according to the feed as well. Yeah, and yeah, it looks like Leclerc is technically allowed to use DRS here as well. Leclerc's not within 1 second of Norris, I don't think. He's in fact 2.5 seconds back, so he shouldn't be allowed to use DRS, but maybe he is using it. I'm not sure how this is exactly working with the whole GPS being broken. Max is still stuck behind Pierre Gasly here, ladies and gents. So it's a little bit unfortunate. What happened with Carlos? Carlos has he got a 10-second time penalty, had to come into the pits to serve it, and then ended up retiring from the race. So that was that. Liam Lawson has been given another 10-second time penalty for causing a collision. I think he had a 5-second time penalty before, and now another 10-second penalty on top of that. So Lawson is really feeling the wrath of the FIA here. And after all of those penalties applies, he goes from 13th all the way to dead last. Okay. Yeah, here we go then. We're on lap number 54 of 57, and it is looking good here for Oscar Piastri. If he crosses the line, if all the drivers cross the line in this current position, I think Oscar Piastri will go on to lead the championship. I'm not 100% certain. Let me just have a look at the championship standings. All right, so if we have a look at the standings here, Piastri's on 49 points, Norris is on 62, so no, actually he won't. No, he won't actually get ahead of Lando Norris. He'll be 3 points behind his teammate, but nonetheless, it'll be very, very close. Where's Russell? Russell, his GPS is broken, but he's in second place in the race. Also, ladies and gents, if we could hit our like target of 12,000, that'd be incredible. That goes another 1,000 over our previous record, and we're getting pretty close to 145k subs as well. This is the 5-year anniversary of the channel, and honestly, it's been a fantastic race, fantastic stream, record-breaking stream. So yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in, for hitting the like button, for subscribing, and for typing in the chat. And I'd like to say a big thank you to my channel members. I haven't got a full list of all of their names because there are about 40 of them now, but every single channel member is hugely appreciated. And because of you guys, I can do what I do week in, week out. So, I'm starting to sound a little bit like Lewis Hamilton here by saying, oh, I've got the best fans and everything, but honestly, you guys are a great bunch, and thank you very, very much. Lando Norris is on the back of George Russell. Oh my God, we got 57. We're on lap number 55 or 57 here, and Lando Norris is right on George Russell's tail here, ladies and gentlemen. Russell on the soft tyres. Those soft tyres are wearing out more and more. Russell having issues with his gearbox, with his steering wheel, and Norris is right on his tail. Here we go now. Let's wait and see what can happen with 3 laps left to go of this race. Who do you think it's going to be? Is it going to be Norris in second place? Is it going to be George Russell? Russell will be hanging on for dear life. Yeah, that's all I can say, really. Let's wait and see what happens as they make their way towards the final corner. We've got George Russell, good final exit there for him, and let's see what Lando Norris can do out of the final corner. He's got the DRS. He's well within DRS range. And now they go towards turn number 1. Guys, I think my commentary is slightly out of sync of what's going on the screen. That's just because of the GPS issues, but I'm going to continue on. Norris is gaining and gaining. He darts to the inside, but he doesn't go. He doesn't go down the inside. Russell is looking in his mirrors, though. He knows exactly where Lando Norris is, and he's going to do his absolute best to block him going into turn number 4. Let's wait and see. Into turn number 4 they go. Norris has got the DRS. He tries to swoop round. He tries to go down the inside, but he's just not close enough. Good driving there from Russell. He just manages to hang on to this one. 2 more laps left to go here, ladies and gents. Norris has been taking 2/10, 3/10 out of Russell's laps for the previous couple of laps, finally catching up to him. And we have got 2 laps left to go. Let's wait and see what he can do. Will it be Lando Norris in P2 or will it be George Russell? Lando Norris will have his recovery drive from 6th place. George Russell will be driving a stricken Mercedes that really isn't on full power. To the end of the race. Norris once again has DRS now going towards turn number 11. Still not close enough to get a move done into there. And we are reaching the final laps of the race. A black and white flag for Tsunoda and a black and white flag for Verstappen. Both drivers exceeding track limits there. And it seems like those Red Bulls don't have all that much grip. We're on the final lap of the race as Piastri comes across the start-finish line. We've got Lando Norris versus George Russell. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The final lap of the race. Who is it going to be? Is it going to be Lando Norris? Is it going to be George Russell? Only time will tell. We've got 5.8 kilometers left to go. Into turn 1 they go. George Russell had got a brilliant exit into turn into main straight. He goes defensive, ever so slightly defensive. Norris tries to swoop round the outside, but Russell is having none of it, cuts him all up. And now up the hill they go towards turn number 3. Norris's exit really wasn't all that good, and going towards turn number 4, he's deploying all of the overtake button he has, but George Russell defends against him. There's only 2 overtaking opportunities left. There's turn number 11 and there's turn number 14. Let's wait and see what happens. The final lap of the race, and we've got a battle for 2nd place, and that rhymes as well. Simply lovely, simply lovely. Oh my goodness me. Into turn number 80, Lando Norris is so close, and George Russell is keeping him exactly where he wants him. Oh my god, Russell. Max gets ahead of, I think Max gets ahead of Gasly. Yes, he does on the final lap of the race. Finally, Max sends one down the inside and gets the overtake done on Pierre Gasly. That's up to 6th place for him once everything updates. But now, all eyes on Oscar Piastri. He got pole position here in Bahrain. He comes out of the final corner. Aussie, oi, oi, oi. And he comes across the finish line to win the race. It's his 2nd win this season. Oscar Piastri takes the win for McLaren, and now it's George Russell versus Lando Norris. Into the final corner they go. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be George Russell or Lando Norris? Russell just has the advantage of against Norris into the final corner. Norris is so late on the brakes, but Russell, in that stricken Mercedes with his steering wheel switched off, comes across the start-finish line to take 2nd place at the Bahrain Grand Prix. What a drive from George Russell. Lando Norris gains 3 places from the race start, up into 3rd for him. Ferraris in 4th and 5th. Verstappen in 6th position as he gets ahead of Gasly on the final lap of the race. Ocon in 8th after going 6 positions gained from his starting point. Tsunoda in 9th, and then we have Oliver Behrman in 10th. What a race this has been. Oh my goodness me. Absolutely fantastic. Brilliant race. Brilliant. Thank you everyone for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. I will be commentating for the Saudi Arabia Grand Prix, and hopefully we can have another record-breaking stream. And then if you guys do want to help me out getting another record-breaking stream, if you could hit the like button on the Saudi Arabia Grand Prix stream, that hugely helps out the channel. So it's been a pleasure commentating to you guys from all around the world, all 55,000 of you, and I hope to see you around in 1 week's time for the race in Saudi Arabia. Oscar Piastri is overjoyed on the radio after winning this one, and George Russell is very happy as well. Okay, thank you everyone for tuning in. It's been a pleasure commentating, guys. Hope you guys have enjoyed the coverage, and you'll be coming back next week. If you could just hit the like button for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix stream, that really helps out the channel. Hopefully you can continue breaking more records, and yeah, that is it. Fastest lap of the race for Oscar Piastri as well. Brilliant. Okay, that's been it from me. I shall see you in 1 week's time for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. 1 week, and we're going to have some more fantastic racing. Thank you everyone for tuning in.